Live. We should be live.
We should all go, we are live.
Splat.
All right. Hello, interwebs. What's going on? This is the closer. Got a couple of yahoos here, and we're going to talk about some guns. We might talk about some food, and we're probably going to talk about some nonsense. So, who do we got out there? So we got a bunch of people out there so far. It's awesome. And we had a slow start last week. It's like everybody's popping in here pretty early. Very, very cool. Ratman out there says, well, we're waiting. Well, we're here.
Well, we're waiting.
Well.
Get on with it.
I was mean.
Expects
I
this
have
to be
to.
a professional show.
Yeah, I know. I have to apologize to Foss. I did wish him. I wished him harm earlier today because I got mad at him and I said I hope he gets stuck in a sticky trap. So I'd like to apologize. I think I should do that.
Wait a minute. You gave Foss the keys to the camper? I just put those sticky traps down there, goddammit.
That wasn't the only thing sticky in that camper right here. Yeah.
Look, it's not my fault that the skylight got all brittle and broke, all right?
Yeah, okay.
Broke.
So,
Awesome.
let's see. Snowy, what's going on, buddy? You're first on the list here. What's going on, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm glad to be back. And, thanks for the invites. You've been sending them consistently. I just have not been able to make it, so I'm glad to be back, and thanks for having me.
That's cool, man. Everybody gets sick of me for a while, and you gotta, you throw up a couple times, you take some Imodium, and you can make it back. It's good. Moo, what's going on?
Just got back from picking my wife up at her parents'. She helped them drive back from the Florida Keys, and they went back to their house, which is 200 miles from my house.
Barf.
So left. So I got over there Friday night. We got back here just tonight. So I haven't watched too many videos or live streams for that matter this whole week.
Yeah,
So,
I've been really out of it too. I've been. It's funny, kind of working from home is keeping me busier than when I was at work.
I hear you, buddy. I've been working. Yeah, I've been working from home since last March.
Yeah, between having the little guy here and working on menus and doing all that kind of stuff for the new place, it's been it's been busy. I'll work on something for a little while, and then he'll come running in and want to play, and it's like I can't say no to him. You know what I mean? So
I know.
Yeah.
So does your new menu look like the one like on My Cousin Vinny, where it just says breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Yeah, that's it, and that's as far as I've gotten so far.
What do you think? Breakfast?
What do you want? Yeah, I like it.
Does it at least have orange whip on the menu?
Orange whip.
Whip G23 says I don't even show up on my live streams. I've been pretty AWOL. Yeah, I've been pretty AWOL lately. I've been really busy. I've been trying to put as much time into things as I can, and been spending a ton of time cooking at home a little bit and doing some stuff around here and playing with a little dude. And he got his Switch for Christmas, so he just got a new Mario game. He got Mario 3D. So
Sweet.
we've been playing the shit out of some Mario. So it's been fun. George, what's going on, man? What's pooping, Jorge?
What's going on, man? Thanks for the invite. Nice to see everybody here. It's a little bit busy, work and stuff, and here at home. Got me some nice toys to play around with, in case, the power goes out. I got some like alternative lighting and stuff, so it's pretty good, Got a nice flashlight, that can you can put it on, set it on top, and you can do like a lantern mode, and it does like a little flasher. Also, if you use it for like fishing at night, in a boat, if your flashlight falls into the water, it has a sensor that it'll start flashing red, so you can see it. So it's pretty cool, man. It's awesome.
That's neat. Yeah. So if you drop it while it's turned off, it knows it, huh?
Yeah, if it's off,
That's
or
pretty
on,
cool.
it'll start to flash. Also got these little tent lights. I can probably put them like in the rooms and stuff. Like power goes off. Oh, there you go. Alternative lights. For now.
Mm-hmm.
Have that
Yeah.
that winter storm that came in really got a lot of people thinking on, people talking about getting generators and lights and alternative lighting and stuff, and just just to make it through the week at least, at least 3 days, so like the power comes back on. So so what I've been doing, I've been trying to get ready for hurricane season. Hopefully it'll be quiet, but at least if it, things go, like say power, water, and stuff like that, I'll be prepared for it.
You Texans have helped out my financial situation quite a bit. I own quite a bit of stock in Generac from working there, and you guys definitely helped me out on that one.
Cool. It's awesome.
He's looking for his kickbacks. Rich White, what's going on, buddy guy? How's the show tonight? He gone.
Interesting. No, I was trying to figure out the right word. We had a couple of rabbit holes we went down at certain points, and again, we proved that Pinocchio is Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Mm-hmm.
He's just in some kind of witness protection or something, and so he was brought over here and he became a doctor of allergies and somehow got in charge of a division of government having to do with infectious diseases. But yeah, we definitively proved that Anthony Fauci is Pinocchio, which is why he can't ever make up his mind and always telling everybody lies. Yeah.
Yeah. Just wing it. Fake it till you make it, The OG wee guy. What's going on, Abe?
Not a whole lot. Been kind of an off week, even with having a couple days off. Just kind of running back and forth, to get my truck back up. So
I choose not to run.
Right.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I run to the end of the block. I'm gonna be in the hospital.
Nope. It was nice and clear with a chance of snow and that, like farther north of us for the day that my dad drove it up, and I was gonna drive him back and spend a couple days with my folks anyway.
Cool.
Drive a little bit. That's okay. Get to the river bottom. 15 miles an hour in slush behind the two semis.
Oh, man.
Get
out of town. And it's like, oh, well, there's no slush, but the wind's blowing enough to where high beams, low beams, it don't matter which beams you have. You ain't seen more than 3 feet on the road.
You need a gym beam.
That was in the tank.
It went outside today because the weather looked super nice outside. It was real bright and sunny, and it was like 56 or something like that. We went outside for a little bit, and the wind blew so hard, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was crazy windy. Wow. We didn't. It just killed every little bit of warmth that the sun had. You know what I mean? It just it was kind of rough. So we didn't stay out too long, like about an hour.
Well, you're just like me. So that means that you're in the kind of second spring stage right now. You got one more winter, and then you'll have the actual spring.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been all over the place. It was really nice the other day. It's just up and down. It's kind of crazy right now, which isn't unusual for this time of year. You just never know what you're going to get,
No, just wait till April when we hit the rainy season.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Mosquito City, man.
And last, we got Darth Roll Call. What's going on, Darth?
I'm your father.
Party on, Darth.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Wayne.
Yeah.
It's claymation.
Claymation. It's like
Minion. Hold on, I signed up under the henchman treaty, not this Minion bullshit.
Gumby,
Internet provided by
Darth
claymation.
Roll Call. What's going on, man?
It looks like he's going to tell us ghost story.
No,
Yeah.
Tell us a ghost story.
Ooh.
We're all around the campfire.
not a whole
All
lot,
right.
man. You know, making YouTube videos, pissing people off. You know what I do best, man. Come on, man.
I was just about to say, do you do much bitching and moaning this week or what? I've been a little out of the loop. What did I miss anything good? Or are you just normally pissing off the people that you normally piss off?
Yeah, I'm just pissing off the same people as usual. You know, Twitter doesn't like me. Instagram warned me. Facebook, I don't even post on there as much anymore because they'll kill me real quick. They'll give me a suspension, and then they sent me this little note. They sent me an email. One more time. You know, like little parents. One more time, you're gonna get the bill. But, no, same old thing, man.
I say you push your luck, man. I say roll the dice. Let's see what happens.
Do it.
Let her rip, Tater
All
Chip.
No stones if you don't.
Let's see who the hell we got out there. We got Ape was out there, John's Life and Grim, Defense Dad, Ozzy, MKJO. Lead Life is out there. Keith Gregory, Rich, G23, Foss. Snowy's out there and in here too. Dead Horse is out there. What's going on, homie G? The Gun Snob. It's getting snobby out there. Very good. Very nice. Got about 20 people watching so far. Watching and or listening. So we got we got a couple articles pulled up here. And then, we'll do some, if anybody wants to talk about some food chats, we can food chat. And then we'll go on Instagrams for some nonsense. New Jersey man arrested for unlawful gun possession, but breaks no laws. I don't believe it. Could you believe such a thing could happen in New Jersey?
I don't
Not
believe there
in
is
New
such a place
Jersey.
as New Jersey. It
New
doesn't
Jersey's
exist.
perfect.
It's like Iowa.
I mean, isn't a BB gun technically illegal there?
No, that would be
Well-
Connecticut.
Yeah.
That'd be
One of the biggest
Canada.
battles we have going on in the Second Amendment community is the matter of possession outside the home, as even the most liberal justices and Heller admitted the definition of bear means to carry. Yet, what do anti-gunners say when it comes to possession of firearms outside the home? They stick to their argument that Heller only protects firearms inside the home and keeps their fingers crossed that one day SCOTUS will confine the right to bear arms to your residence. Well, in New Jersey, even possession inside the home is not being respected by the government. Under New Jersey law, exemptions to unlawful possession specifically exempt and allow possession of rifles, shotguns, and handguns with one's home or on land one possesses. New Jersey does not require a permit or license to possess firearms within one's home. Now consider the disturbing case of a New Jersey man, John Maragliata, who was recently arrested on 11 counts of unlawful possession inside his home. The details that led up to the police, what brought police to Uncle John's home in the first place, are of zero consequence since he meets all the statutory requirements to possess firearms within his home. Ragliata is being represented by attorney Evan F. Knappen, who says of the matter, my client was arrested for possession of 11 long arms in his home. This is preposterous. We're not even talking about the scary guns. We're talking about a collection of BB guns and hunting shotguns. Yet he's facing over 50 years in New Jersey State Prison. This is another example of New Jersey making a law-abiding citizen into a criminal. Possession in the home is under exemption of New Jersey's law, and further, this matter was the crux of the Heller decision, possession in the home. At the latest court appearance, the assistant prosecutor indicated that the state is not presenting any plea offer and are directly moving for indictment. With last year's U.S. Supreme Court mooting the New Jersey case or the New York case, and rejecting to hear a dozen other 2A cases, many of which dealt with the right to carry firearms outside the home. The legal issue of possession of firearms outside the home remains a battle. But in states like New Jersey wish to loan, but if states like New Jersey wish to lean on the narrow provisions pronounced in Heller and McDonald, then they should not be allowed to arrest honest citizens for having arms within their residence, as specifically protected under Heller and McDonald. The case should be dismissed immediately, and this injustice should not be allowed to continue. You can follow and support Magliotta. He has a GoFundMe, all that kind of stuff. So what I don't get in this article, I skimmed through the article, but I didn't take it a whole lot of time. What they don't say is what the charges were, and I don't understand if they left that out intentionally or not. Didn't you guys hear about this one? You know anything about it?
I read something on it earlier in the week. I'm actually trying to look it up right now to see what the actual charges are, because I'm curious about that as well. But from everything I've gathered from what I've read is he did absolutely nothing wrong. They were in his house. He legally possessed them. A couple of them were BB guns, for Christ's sake. So
it said a bunch of them were.
Yes. Yeah. So it's like, okay, he had a couple shotguns for hunting and then BB guns. I'm sorry, BB guns do not fall under firearms in any state that I've known. There is no, as far as I know, there is no gunpowder in a BB to get shot. So
yeah, here's the funny part about that.
Some states do.
Some states have
Connecticut, they do. Yeah.
I think it depends on the size, but I think they write it like it fires a projectile, so it's a gun, basically. They take it to the nth degree for sure. I don't know if many other states do that. I don't think, but
yeah, Vanessa Kitty in some of the shows when she's out in the live chat has said it's actually easier in Connecticut to get an actual firearm sometimes than it is to get permission to have a BB gun.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Ow! Don't shoot me with that. That stings.
Yeah,
you'll shoot your eye out, knock it off.
If you're not careful, you might leave it well.
There are air rifles that you could actually hunt deer with. So
I know. I'm diving deep in that rabbit hole, Rich. I'm looking hard at some of those, the 30 cals and stuff like that. So
yeah,
stay tuned.
Let's see what's up next. I hate it when the damn article gets cut off.
Maybe it was Jewish.
All right. Yeah, I know, right? Shout. I just thought this was funny. I didn't really read this article. I just saw the headline. It says every town was sued for trademark. Adidas sued Everytown for trademark infringement, just as Everytown was attacking us. So a little story behind when we got back in August of 19, Mom at Arms created a T-shirt designed through a third-party vendor. Moms demand action. A few people bought the shirt, and it was used to troll Shannon Watts and Pittsburgh Mayor Bill Peduto. They took the bait. I proudly wear my mom's demand shirt out in public. I've been stopped and maybe even got a new member or two. Man enough to be a mom.
I think my wife would wear that.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to buy one of those damn shirts.
Hell yeah.
Soon after, in December of 2019, Everytown sent the T-shirt vendor a cease and desist to stop selling and printing the T-shirt. Fast forward to 2020 elections, Shannon Watts defamed Republican congressional candidate Nick Freitas by using the design in an obviously fake tweet, even made more obvious because the shirt wasn't around in 2016 to smear him. My lovely wife got this shirt for my birthday. Love the message. #2A. Nick Freitas. Oh, man. That's funny. That's some top-notch trolling there, man. I like that.
Top notch.
10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's some top-notch trolling, bro. In bump stock case, 10th Circuit dismisses grant of rehearing en banc as what the hell were improvidently granted. That is a whole. See, I'm reading new words. Improvidently granted. Wow, that's
You're
big.
trying to read legalese.
Yeah, for sure. And I am not the
not a
dude to be
real
doing
word.
that shit. I don't know. I sure as hell didn't think it would be.
I have to
The
look
en
it up
banc
to see
court
what the
split
hell it is.
6-5. Yeah, I know, right? 6-5 to vacate the prior grant of rehearing en banc. This case may present a cert-worthy Chevron vehicle. There's some weird words in there. Chevron, that's a gas station. The fuck? In May of 2020, a divided 3-judge panel in the 10th Circuit upheld President Trump's executive action that prohibited possession of bump stocks. In September 2020, the 10th Circuit granted rehearing en banc in Apashian versus Barr. The case was fully briefed and was argued yesterday. The 10th Circuit changed course. By a vote of 6-5, the en banc court voted to vacate its prior order granting en banc review and reinstate the original 3-judge panel. September 2020, the court entered an order granting appellant's petition for rehearing en banc, having now considered the parties' supplemental briefs and heard oral arguments in this matter. A majority of the en banc panel has voted to vacate the September 4th, 2020 order as improvidently granted. As a result, the court's September 4th, 2020 order granting en banc rehearing is vacated. The court's May 7th, 2020 opinion is reinstated, and the clerk shall reissue the court's judgment as of the date of this order. Jesus, that's a bunch of words, isn't it? That's a bunch of back and forth. So they basically undid their decision. 5 judges dissented from the decision to vacate the grant of rehearing en banc, and those were 40 pages of dissents from those 4 of those 5 judges. I can't remember what that. So this might go to. So this might move it forward then, because they originally said. Forget how. Too much legalese, man. Too much rough. But where's a layman to fucking write this shit, man, so everybody can understand it? I blame the education system for his reading skills. Yeah, for sure. Dude,
And this sounds like I'm 5 college degrees behind to be able to understand this shit.
Yeah, for sure. This is too much. I'm not even getting into this shit because, I mean...
You want layman's terms? Okay, basically the 10th Circuit in banc said, fuck you and your bump stocks. That's the layman's terms.
So that was the original decision was to uphold the banning, right?
Yeah, they decided that they were going to rehear the case in banc, and then when they met in banc, decided, nope, we're not going to hear this anyway, and left the original 3-panel decision in place, which was to say that Trump was legally banning the bump stock. So basically, like I said, in layman's terms, they said, fuck you and your bump stock.
Mm-hmm.
See, and technically, isn't that? I mean, I look at it this way: that could be a good thing and a bad thing, because that allows it to move on past the circuit court if someone wants to pursue it further. So that might not be the worst thing in the world. I think by them actually trying to do it where they had the 5-panel or whatever, it would have held it up for even longer, to where now it can be progressed further in the court system to be allowed that to be heard a little bit better. Or by a different court.
Well, they would go from here to the Supreme Court.
Right, so it allows that process to start.
Yeah, it should. Unless they decide to come back later and say, no, we'll hear it after all. But you never know with these courts what they're going to do these days.
At some point, they should get told to just go fist themselves. You made your choice 2 times now. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm. But if they're denying basically the petition, they denied it in Bonk, it should move on to the Supreme Court from that point.
But that's okay. Dianne Feinstein made sure to put bump stocks into her assault weapons ban that she proposed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, let's not forget, too, if H.R. 1 passes the Senate, the Supreme Court is going to have to do whatever Congress tells them to do anyway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous where she added a bunch of weird, stupid stuff in there. They made sure to point out bump stock specifically in there because, it allows you to shoot at a fully automatic pace is exactly what it says, or at the same pace as what you can shoot a fully automatic at. Not true, and on top of that, you don't need a bump stock to actually fire a rifle.
Don't tell them that they'll ban belt loops.
Before we went live. Yeah, I was saying this before I went live. I'm totally all over the place as far as what bills say what and whose bills are whose. There's so many. There's so many numbers. There's HB. There's a million different things. It seems like floating around. It's so hard to keep track of it. I mean, I hear the stuff I hear the things that are in the bills, but I can't keep track of whose bills are whose and what the numbers of each one are. I started looking at it the other day and I was like, dude, I don't even know where the hell I'm at.
Well, and to be honest with you, most of the ones that are proposed right now are ones that have already been proposed in the past. And
right.
They always seem to move through the House, but they fail in the Senate. And right now, I forget what website it is. If I remember it, I'll shoot it to you later. But essentially, it's a website that they go through and they rate how likely these bills are to pass. I think the universal background check one is only rated at a 40% chance to pass. One of them's at 8% chance to pass. So everything that they're proposing right now has a very low chance of passing in the Senate itself.
As it sits right now, but Chucky Schumer has already said if these bills do not pass the Senate, he's proposing a rules change to get rid of the filibuster, which then would make it a simple majority vote. And if he does make that move, there's one guy right now standing in the way, and that's Joe Manchin, and we don't know if he's going to cave or not. If he caves, it's done. That's
a good point.
And in 2 years, it'll all come back to bite them in the butt.
Well, yeah, good.
Well,
I mean, that's the risk of when you make these huge changes to the government, and how the procedures and how things are done. Like, you do it for short-term gains, but what does it result in the next administration or future administrations?
Well, and then the other thing that I'm kind of wondering about with that too, so they can go through and look at getting rid of the filibuster and everything, but how does that work? Because there's going to be a lot of legal recourse that comes from that. It's going to go to the court system on whether it's legal for them to do that and everything. Does that automatically put a stop to that, just like it does anything else that they end up getting?
Well, the Senate has the constitutional right to set the rules of how they operate. So you could challenge that, but it's going to be a hard challenge to win.
Yeah, and then I'm also looking at it, if they do institute all these gun laws and everything, that's just going to be a huge, long, drawn-out court battle.
That's going to be a long, drawn-out court battle. But the filibuster thing, that's going to be a hard case to win if somebody were to try to take that to court, because the Senate does have the right to determine how they operate, what their rules are for proceeding with the votes and everything.
Not to get off topic, but the stuff about the key card incident, has anybody read on that?
You were roboting there, buddy. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, couldn't make out what you're saying, roll call.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, a little better.
No, the key card incident. Did anybody read up on that?
No.
Nope.
So there's this thing that this guy made, and it's called the key card.
Oh wait, no, I did hear about it. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's like a piece of metal where, it's just a piece of metal, and it's just got like a stamping of some kind that technically could make your gun a machine gun. Well, the ATF raided this place, arrested this guy. His name's Justin. I forgot. I think it's E. Erickson or something. Arrested his whole family, seized his bank account, all his personal property, all his firearms. So, the key to this is if he loses his court case, the ATF is now looking at the stamping procedure on AKs. You look at some AKs, they have that little T mark by there, and technically you can make AK full auto. So then there was rumblings in the ATF about banning or not saying anything has that stamp feature on it with that little T, making that classified as a machine gun. And I think it all hinges on whether this dude gets put in jail for this or not. So that's a really interesting thing to see, because I know a lot of AKs have that little stamp mark on there. And I mean, it's one of those things like, don't poke the bear type of deal, Don't write the ATF questions. Don't, give them suggestions. And I think this was one of those ordeals. But now they're really looking at it. And he was selling these things. And this other channel, I don't know if anybody watches it, it's called I think he's based in Wisconsin. Well, am I breaking up?
You're kind of coming in and out a little bit. We can kind of understand what you're saying, but I don't know if there's a better spot for you to get reception or not.
How about this spot? No?
Yeah, that was a little bit. That's a little bit better. Yeah, you're better. You're a little bit better.
All right. So I don't know how much you caught, but I just thought it was an interesting case. And this guy, his YouTube channel is CRS Firearms or something. Well, he was giving them away as like giveaways. That little piece of metal with the stamped out item on there. Well, I mean, now he's talking about the ATF maybe going. Yeah, there it is. Maybe going after him because I guess, they ceased all this guy's records, all his all his bank statement records and all that shit, and got all people's personal information that have this type of metal thing that he was just giving away, this outline basically. So that's a scary situation to see the ATF again brewing up ideas. And the AK thing was really interesting. I watched the video today, and it just made me pause for a minute of buying an AK, because I'm like, well, if this guy does go to jail for that, and they say just making outlines of things are illegal, then what are they going to do with the receivers that have that little T stamp on AKs? It's really interesting. Been paying quite a bit of attention to it, because the guy is a very knowledgeable kid. And I say kid because he's younger than me. But it's just an interesting read. Go look him up. Go look up on his channel. He posted some stuff. He even made a video that he's uploaded, and he's on changing the upload date in case he gets arrested for it. That's how serious this is going, man. It's just one of those things. Don't poke the ATF.
Well, so I researched that a little bit because I saw the same thing you're talking about. And I think what the ATF is trying to nail him for is not having, a Class 3 FFL or whatever it is, a manufacturer's FFL for it. I think that's what they're trying to get him for, because they want to go ahead.
They're trying to pop him for producing gun parts without a license.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because they're trying to classify this key card, from what I've gathered, as a firearm.
Yeah, Phelps says, Phelps out there in the chat said that he thinks that the guy got in trouble because the Gen 1 ones were 90% cut out, whereas the Gen 2 ones were just a print on the metal. So yeah, it's probably they're probably going after him for production of a gun part without being licensed. That'll be my guess as well.
Which just goes to show, if you're going to make gun parts, make sure you have the right licensing for it.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a bunch of those
But
fuel
even if you-
filters too.
But I mean, that's the whole idea, though. Is like, yeah, the fuel filters. That's the whole idea. Is if this dude wanted to produce, he didn't want to produce gun parts. He wanted to almost produce gun parts. You know what I mean? So,
Well, anything
I know,
over
you know,
80%,
not illegal.
anything over 80% is a gun part at that point. That's why you got
Right.
like the 80% lowers and stuff. The cutoff
Right.
is like right around 80%. So that's if he was doing it at 90%, he has manufactured not just a gun part but an auto sear for
Right.
a rifle without a Class 3 FFL, which is a manufacturer's permit for not FFL, NFA items. So
Mhm.
he is technically in violation of the law.
Yeah.
Well, then on top of that, you look at it. So he's making that type of stuff, which is, like, granted, you can get at the 80% part, but he was going further than that, and he was having it cut out, so he was producing it. And on top of that, from the card I'm looking at, it looks like he would have 3 of them on one. So you have to think, for every single one of those cards he gave out, he can get hit with 3 times for each one of those cards, and that can be a separate charge for each of them. So if they really wanted to go after him and get the maximum penalty, I don't remember what it is. I think it's like 25 years in jail or something like that.
But this
They
dude will
could-
get like 3,000 years in jail because he's produced how many of them times 3? You know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, This is a pretty. That's tough, man. Like,
Well,
you
and
know, I want to say, like, you know, it's if you produce it as an 80 at like an 80%er, just like an 80%er Glock or something we're talking about, you know, it's legal, right? But even if it's legal, man, you're really, like Roll Call said, you're really poking the bear, man. You're really.
well, and let's put
You
it
know.
this way. I worked for a company that had the Class 3 FFL. We made silencers as well as manufactured rifles there. And it's one of those where, looking at it from the perspective of being in the industry, seeing something like this is where it starts to make it hard for all the people that are trying to do it the legitimate way, because you start producing stuff like that, then you really start poking that ATF, and then it starts making it harder on a lot of those companies, whether it be a silencer manufacturer or any firearms manufacturer at that point, because then they start really starting to scrutinize stuff, and they get amped up if they get a win off of this. So it makes it harder for the people that are trying to do this the proper way.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Especially if the guy took money for it, that adds a whole different ball game into there too.
Well, yeah, well, I guess it would, yeah, because then you'd be an unlicensed FFL, but they're basically saying he's an unlicensed FFL anyway, whether he took money or not.
Yeah, exactly. And then they can start hitting him for all kinds of financial crimes on top of that. If you start taking money and you're not properly licensed to be taking that money, there's extra stuff that they can add on to that.
Clovertax out there. What's up, Clover? He says, with the ATF intent, quote unquote, weighs a lot on things. And if you watch videos done on this card, it doesn't help with the whole argument that intent was not there. Some gun tubers really hurt this guy. Yeah, Clover, if you know a lot about it, you got a link, buddy. It'd be awesome to come in and talk about it for a couple minutes if you want to.
This awkward
Alright,
silence is
quick
brought
text
to you
there.
by the cool and refreshing
No.
taste of Diet Beef Soda Zero.
Now coming in with lime.
Sometimes not put
Limes.
out info and stuff like this. Word of mouth, cool, maybe through email or something, yeah, but not a freaking video. Yeah, I hear you. I get it.
And a wink, wink, nod, nod. Shut your damn mouth.
It's just let's keep things hush hush, right?
Wink, wink, nod, nod. Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah,
Screenshot.
yeah. Hey, Clover, what's going on, buddy?
Wow, am I lagging or what's up?
You're there now.
Tactical leprechaun.
You said, "Hey, Clover, what's up, buddy?" And then it was like 10 seconds before I was in the room. It's like,
Yeah. No, I let you in, then I said it pretty much right away.
It's public school internet.
I don't know,
Yeah.
something screwy. But
Something
yeah,
in the
there's
future.
I don't know, there's a lot of stuff out there on this. You know, I get the whole idea, whatever it might be, whether it's the bump stock thing, whether it's these, whether it's the pistol braces, whether it's a solvent trap. But here's the thing. You know, let's be honest about it for a second, that the driving factor around the majority of the stuff is trying to circumvent rules and regulations and laws and that sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
I mean, there's we really can't run and hide from that. And you know, why do we do that? It's because the laws and regulations, all that, are stupid to start with, right? So I'm not saying we need to all comply and that things like this don't need to happen in order to show how stupid things are or whatever. In this particular case, I won't mention the channel, but the channel doesn't have a really good rap, and it's a big or rep. I don't know, whichever word you use for that. But it's a fairly large channel. Man, they did a whole thing on this. I want to say like months ago or something, that it was almost no doubt I mean, you got to think that it's not just gun people that are watching content. And especially when you're talking bigger channels that are likely to get suggested on other people's homepages and things like that. You've got maybe family members of employees that are with the ATF, right? And it could be something as little as a clerk or something. And a family member seen it and said something to them, and then they said something. My point is that when you've got nuanced things like this, things that really run up close to the line, if they don't cross the line, why in the heck are we even talking about stuff like that? I mean, you know, I get it, because we don't get, if everything stayed hush hush, I mean, we don't get pistol braces, right? We wouldn't have had bump stocks. There wouldn't be the solvent traps, which, by the way, most of the ones I've seen out there are a waste of your freaking money, because they don't hold up. But anyway, yeah, what I was saying out there in the chat with that is, you know, intent is one of them, is a big thing. And the company itself never had any intent with this, right? In other words, they didn't show any instructions on how to finish this. They didn't talk about what it could be used for. Nothing. However, there was some YouTube channels out there that went into great detail on how you do this, basically. And it's like, well, there's no doubt that was a contributing factor in what happened. There's almost no doubt. So, you know, I guess the bigger question is, what responsibility do we have, those of us that are engaged in social media? Even, we don't have to be even classify ourselves as creators or reviewers or internet media or whatever. Just being on social media and being, you know, pro firearm lifestyle, pro 2A, whatever it might be. Where does it fall on us to be able to kind of be diligent and go, whoa, wait a minute. This is cool. And you know what? I'm going to call Midnight and I'm going to tell him about this cool thing I seen, or I'm going to text him, or I'm going to email, or I'm going to tell the local guy at the gun shop. But you know what? I'm probably not a good idea to post pictures and talk about this on Facebook. Probably not a good idea to make a freaking YouTube video, especially explaining how to do it. Probably not the best idea.
Yeah, for sure. And well, the other thing to think about too is, as a channel creator or content creator, if you go through and actually show how to put that together, how to assemble it, and do all that stuff, and you actually put it online, and you've actually went through and done it, well, then you just cut yourself a charge if the ATF does.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There are a bunch of creators, and especially larger channels, that work for or are in and of themselves have the proper licensing to do that. So
that's very true.
Not
if you have the proper licensing.
Yes, correct.
Also, it's for educational purposes only.
And that's fine. But if it's educational purposes only, talking about how to basically circumvent or break the law, then yeah, I mean, as far as the how do you put it? As far as that being a problem in and of itself, it's not. But then when you couple that with the company that's making said product to do that, then all that goes straight into, I mean, that hands them the intent, right? That's like, these people are making this specifically to do this. Because let's be honest about this. We're talking about the key card specifically here. Let's be honest about the key card. Let's be honest about a lightning link. How many gun owners know that a lightning link even ever existed? Right? And I would bet everything I own, very, 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 very asterisk over it, few, right? Let alone what it looks like, how it works, and then once you start getting into the other nuances, right? That minute number dwindles off even more, right?
Well, and I look at it the same way. What was it not too long ago, about a year, maybe 2 years ago? It was like Wish app or website or whatever was selling the back plates that you could throw on your Glock, and it would make them fully automatic.
Right.
It's like, look at how many channels and stuff ended up blowing that up, and people actually got in quite a bit of trouble if they bought that and actually used the damn thing. They were able to track exactly who bought them, everything like that. So it's kind of one of those things where if you start talking about it on the channels and stuff, you're putting yourself at the risk. And then if you're promoting something like that, saying, hey, go buy this, well, then you're also putting your viewers at risk as well. So it's something you really got to take into account and think about as somebody who makes content. How much risk do you want to put on yourself and on other people?
Yeah, and the whole idea of the solvent trap, that gets really, really sticky, if we start down that rabbit hole, because I think it was Rich, and I may have missed, I believe it was Rich, but I may have missed, Rich, part of what you said, so I may be out of context somewhere. If I am, certainly fill in the gaps for me. But there was some talk about 80% and stuff like that, and I don't know if Rich was speaking to the solvent traps and everything. But if you go to the laws, the legislation, the regulation, any part of a suppressor is considered a suppressor. So
yeah, we were just talking.
Even if there's not holes drilled through the middle of them, right?
Right. Yeah. Well,
that's still if your intent is to build a suppressor with that, then that's where it gets sticky. Then that's a suppressor part, right? So like me, okay, I've got several Form 1 suppressors. Okay, I don't buy material. I don't own material. There's not any material anywhere that I'm going to make that out of until my stamp comes back. You ain't gonna find none of that here.
Yeah, I was just talking about gun parts in general when I brought up that part. And hell, man, you can't even replace the baffles in your own suppressor anymore. You got to send them off to the factory, because it's now baffles are now a suppressor part, whereas in the past they weren't. So
Well, and it's also one of those things coming from a company.
Yes and no. That's a yes and no. Again, it depends on licensing. It depends on what and whether or not somebody with that licensing to be able to help facilitate that, right?
Right. But in general, the general person at large isn't going to have an FFL so that they can fix their suppressor. You know what I mean? They're going to take it to somebody else. And in the past, though, somebody could have you could buy baffles online for one and replace them yourself, or clean them yourself. Now you can't even clean them legally. It's against the law now for you to actually clean the baffles in your suppressor now. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I may or may not have some ATF opinion letters on that particular topic. So I would I would argue that if they tried to levy anything against me for cleaning my suppressors, put it that way. And part of the reason with that is, especially when you're talking, well, I've only got one that's sealed, right? And so you've got the difference between a sealed suppressor and one that has removable end caps and it's able to be serviced. There is a distinction and a delineation there. Now, if you've got one that's welded shut and you cut the weld, take it apart, re-weld, total separate freaking set of circumstances than one that is considered serviceable. And this is where you get into a lot of the gray and the minutia and the nuance and why the NFA in general is just stupid. It's because it's full of arbitrary crap like that.
Well, and you wouldn't believe, coming from a company that we manufactured suppressors, going through, and you wouldn't believe some of the stuff we had to go through to destroy just stupid parts that they were machined bad. Something happened where the machine crashed and messed up a couple parts. Every single one of those you had to go through, and it was a crazy amount of documentation you needed when you had to destroy them. It was a crazy amount of a process you had to go through to destroy them and prove that they were destroyed.
Yeah, they didn't want anybody dumpster diving, man, and getting the parts to build their own, suppressor in their garage.
Yeah, but I mean that's here's the thing: you don't got a dumpster dive to do that. I mean, again,
yeah, I know.
I own several that I have built myself, and any metal shop, any what I mean, any machine shop, any shop that sells pipe and tubing and all of that stuff, that's it, man. A hardware store.
As long as you got the right tool and the know-how, you can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't need to use the term figuring out because you file for a Form 1, there's nothing illegal about it.
Right.
So we need to be careful when we talk about it because I don't refrain a bit from telling people I've got Form 1s, I've got suppressors I built myself. There's a totally legit legal way to do it.
Talking about no man out there. Ozark out there said, dude, Smith & Wesson is coming out with a high-capacity shield with a flat-face trigger. They're calling it the Shield Plus. I'm trying to find that on here while you guys are talking, but I can't find anything about it.
Yeah, I haven't heard
You
of
mean
that.
like an MMP-SC?
Maybe.
Well,
maybe
I think it's going to be more similar towards like the Glock 43 X and 48 sizing, is if I remember seeing it correctly. Where it's just going to have a longer grip frame on it, but keep the shield slide. Because SIG just announced that with the 365 as well, where they're planning on releasing one with the XL grip frame with a shorter slide on it that's RMR ready. They announced that yesterday.
I think it's weird how they go really, really small with crap, and then they turn around and start making it bigger again. It's like,
Yeah,
make up
it's
your
like the
mind.
365, yeah.
Well, that's why I never got into the 43X or the 48, because to me, if I'm going to carry something that's going to have that long of a grip frame, I'm just going to carry a 19 at that point.
Yeah, I'm trying to find anything on it.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything on it.
We got some,
PDF.
yeah.
PDF on Smith & Wesson's website, but password protected. Ozark, are you trying to steal company secrets?
He might be.
Ozark, I'm going to have to ask you to stay perfectly still for the next 20 to 25 minutes.
All right.
Don't ask why.
I mean, they make the, like there's, it keeps popping up with like +2 mag plates or,
Yeah, +2 mags.
yeah, +2 mags and stuff. I mean, I wonder if they're just doing factory mags with +2 and then putting a flat face trigger in it. I mean, if that's...
To me, all that sounds like is it would be a performance center model because they already offer that out of the performance center.
Yeah, yeah.
I can tell you one
they'd be
thing.
bringing back the Pro Series.
Yeah, pretty much. The shields.
Well,
The shields, I'm actually impressed with a lot of the performance center. I rented a performance center 9mm shield the other day, and that was actually fairly decent to shoot. And then my girlfriend's been carrying and shooting a performance center shield EZ. That thing's damn good gun.
I got the standard, not the 380 Shield Easy, just the standard model. And that thing, recoil on that is minimal.
Yeah, exactly. And the flat face on the Performance Center, it comes with that flat face skeletonized trigger. That's a really comfortable trigger to be shooting.
You know, the regular Performance Center regular shields. Shot my dad's 9mm. I liked it so much that I ended up getting one in 40 and then getting a SIG barrel for it.
The fist. Laces out, Dan.
Fist.
If you didn't watch last week's show, I found an Instagram post with a bunch of like sports ball players, barf, and it had them all chunked up, you know. And I was like, holy shit, that looks like fucking Moo. You got to get yourself a blue jersey.
That looks almost like a Lions jersey up here in Michigan.
You need to get a blue jersey and put the fist on the back as the name, and wear it around when you're barbecuing and stuff.
That might be a Jacksonville Jaguars jersey.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh, you need to wear that fist jersey right over your mom's Demand Action t-shirt.
Yeah,
I've been looking online. I can't find one for sale.
The jersey or the shirt?
The mom's Demand Action.
Yeah. They were all buried in a dump somewhere. You just gotta go dig them up.
You got to go drive to Nevada and dig up a landfill.
I got a buddy that owns a t-shirt shop.
We're gonna find Atari cassettes of ET.
I could probably have one made.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiFatrio.
Oh, that's a good one. I love that one.
Oh shit! Where's that picture at?
All right. Let's see. Let's go to a little armed citizen stuff here, quick. Armed citizen stops robbery suspect at Midtown Chick-fil-A. Don't be messing with Chick-fil-A, man. Somebody will bust a cap in your ass. Atlanta police responded to a Midtown Chick-fil-A where they say an armed citizen stopped an attempted burglary. Police received the call after 3 p.m. Tuesday about a man who entered a restaurant inside Colony Square with a gun and demanded cash. Atlanta police originally said the man fled, fired 3 shots inside the restaurant, according to witness reports. However, police later said that the shots came from an armed citizen who tried to stop the robbery. As the man ran from the restaurant, Sergeant John Caffey said several people nearby saw what was going on and attempted to stop him. One of them fired 2 shots and held the robbery suspect at gunpoint until officers arrived. No one was injured in the shooting. No charges at this time are expected against the citizen. The suspect was identified as 23-year-old Willie Glotzen IV. He is charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault. What's with the Waffle House? Why are they?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Why they got a picture of Waffle House there?
Well,
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Chick-fil-A is so controversial that they figured they'd just put a picture of Waffle House up there.
Well, they figured there's probably so many shootings at Waffle House, they just had the picture there charged up, ready to go. They just use it again.
Photos, right?
Bullshit. You doctored that article to subliminally advertise for Waffle House, for your new Waffle House you're putting up with the lunch menu.
Maybe.
I'm just surprised that the restaurant was open for them to try to even burglarize it, because
3 p.m. Yeah.
At 3 p.m. I'm going to tell you, any of the Chick-fil-A's here, and they may be open now since the governor loosened some stuff. Last few weeks or whatever it was, but prior to that, anyway, the dining rooms in any of the Chick-fil-A's here haven't been open. First of all, and then second of all, even if they are, if it's anything like any of the Chick-fil-A's here, what a dumb place to try to rob. There's so many people, you know. It's like, could you have picked a busier freaking place to try to rob? Seriously?
Yeah, I can tell you, if they came to a Chick-fil-A here, you'd have about.
I guess they figure that's where the money is if there's lots of customers.
I guess, but then you got more of a
Yeah.
chance of a customer busting the cap on you too, or tackling you,
Yeah.
or stabbing you, or
cop.
whatever it might be.
Yeah, but you have more choices of human shields.
Yeah, the credit union down the street was closed, so they went with their next choice.
Hmm.
Yeah, McDonald's was closed.
Or Wendy's,
Defense
Wendy,
Stat says that that revolver seems to have T-tops. Yeah, I just came across it says Kimber Kaboom. This is somebody's Kimber. That's a K6, right? K6 or whatever.
Tell
And
the
it
story.
used to be. No, and that's what I didn't realize. I pulled this picture up thinking that it was going to have a story, an article with it, and it doesn't, which is just
But it's just a freaking meme.
the dumbest thing ever to
Well,
have some.
I
Yeah,
mean, it
to
takes
have something
I
like
will
that.
tell
not have-
you.
For how much stainless steel that is in that thing, it takes a fair amount to blow up a revolver.
What my guess here, reloads.
Reloads are always going to say.
And
well,
I
no.
just say that because I have seen that. I was actually on a range one time, and I didn't see it happen, but I heard the guy like screaming and go to the ground. Anyway, when it went off, of course,
Mhm.
on a single action army one time. So, and there was no doubt it was reloads with that. And I said it was exactly the same top strap, top 3 cylinders or whatever, gone out of it.
Yeah,
I
actually,
mean,
if
if you
you
tried-
find the find pictures of Elmer Keith's development of the 44 Magnum and some of the Colt single actions he blew up, it looks exactly like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, isn't that a 38? So isn't it
Nope,
possible? if you-
357.
Nope,
Oh, that is a
357.
357.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's all stainless.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Yeah. Which, the K6 have been out for, what, about a decade now?
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah,
this
a while,
was a
yeah.
common occurrence, we'd be hearing a lot more about it rather than...
Yeah.
I
Does
mean,
it happen? I mean, are there manufacturing flaws that can happen? And and yeah, I mean, sure, right? But that's especially with somebody like Kimber, that's going to be a when you're talking about a catastrophic failure, which is what that is. You're talking about the odds of something like that slim, right? Now there may be other minute issues with it that don't work worth a flip or whatever, but as far as being very dangerous like that, yeah, there's not any inherent problem with the design or anything typically. It's an anomaly. So then the only other factor that really comes into play is was the guy reloading, and it being 357. There's a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something called for 8 grains of something. The scale got bumped, or you didn't think, and it's 18 grains, and all of a sudden,
And
Yeah,
you
there's
can
an awful
and
lot
you
of
can
room
do
in that
that.
case.
And you can do that. Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. 357 is a fairly long, fairly long case, depending on the
Mhm.
projectile you're using. Even more so, volume inside there. And then you're talking about Magnum pistol powder as well. So, you double up on that Magnum pistol powder, it's going to be a bad day.
well, it's not so much the Magnum pistol powder. It's like the super light loads of the really fast
Yeah.
stuff, like Bullseye or what's that other,
Yeah.
like Tight Group or something like that, where it's 4 grains and I can quad or triple charge this case of it.
For those that don't know what a 357 case looks like, there's a 357 round right here.
Well,
That's a fairly long case right there.
And Rich
Well-
has a very small head.
you can also undercharge and get
Mhm.
cross burn, which will produce that same issue too.
Like flashover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not super common, but it does happen.
In today's world, you can definitely. I mean, I looked at that picture and that said March 8th. So, with today's world, I'm sure there are a lot more people that are trying their hand at reloading with ammo not being available, and that may just boil down to someone being inexperienced reloading.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where they're getting supplies if they just started, but I mean, it's possible.
Or it could have been something used where somebody had reloaded and had kind of an
Mhm.
oops, that didn't sound right. Well, my hand's
Something-
okay.
Well,
here.
here's the thing: something somebody got from a buddy, right?
Mhm.
Gun shows. There are people that are not. They don't. We talked about the proper licensing and stuff earlier, right? I know for a fact, I see it all the time. People that don't have proper licensing that's selling stuff. Now they're not selling it as reloads, but you can tell it is.
Mm-hmm. And the simple fact of the matter, you look harder long enough on the internet, you'll find kaboom pictures of Colts, of Smith & Wessons, of Rugers.
So
the only thing I haven't seen a kaboom of is a Ruger #1.
Little advice: if you're at a gun show and a guy's got a table full of ammo in Ziploc bags with a torn off end of a box in there, odds are that's probably reloads. This whole thing of I just all that got taken out, took all that out of the box for storage and just put the yeah, sure you did, bro.
Yeah, that's always one that I've always been a little bit iffy on, is buying ammo like that.
Yeah.
Oops.
I was surprised I was able to walk into my gun shop yesterday and pick up a full case of 5.7 without any questions asked.
Well, that happens when you go in at 3 a.m.
Defense Dad said maybe it's a 38 and they tried a 357. If it's a 38, it won't fit, will it?
I have noticed, actually on my airweight Smith & Wesson, with a certain bullet profile, if you just jam it in there, it gets to where it will close the cylinder, but it might not completely rotate all the way around. Because just for bringing in my manufacturing expertise here, just for simplicity of manufacturing, Smith & Wesson, whether it's a 357 or a 38 J-frame revolver, it is the exact same physical dimensions one way for the overall length. It's just what material it's made out of, how it's heat treated,
talking about
and the ream depth, of the cylinder. Because I've got a Taurus model or Taurus 85, which is a 38 special, and that one is an actual 1/8 inch overall length shorter.
It's 38
than the
special.
than the than my 38 airweight Smith & Wesson.
Right. I've never attempted all these years. I've never tried jamming a 357 in a 38 just because I never thought of trying to. Why would I do that? Other than just to see if it fit.
I guess if you picked a really lightweight bullet, like one of the 125 grain or 120 grain projectiles, and put it into a 357. I mean, if he's reloading it too, it could have been.
Well, if he's reloading, who knows, right? I mean, there could be so many.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if it was a 357 and he seated it too deep or something like that, Yeah. Did like a, Now, what about if? I mean, yeah, I guess it could be anything. Like, I mean, if you take a 357 case and reload it with the 338 special powder and a bullet, but you seat it deeper so it'll fit. I mean, it could do it too. Even if you didn't have more powder than you should have, if you sat that bullet back too far.
It depends a lot on whether or not you're pressing down into a compressed load is the biggest issue when you start talking about your seating depth.
Yeah.
Once you start compressing, you've got exponential pressure issues at that point.
Yeah, and this isn't just like a little crack where it was, this was a little bit too hot, because just for good business practice, if Sammy says that, and I'm just pulling a number out of my ass here, so don't take this as gospel. If Sammy says the maximum allowable pressure for 357 Magnum is 40,000 PSI, Kimber's not going to make something that, it'll withstand up to 40,000 PSI or 42,000 PSI. They're going to factor in, a 10 or a 15% or a 20% even safety margin of, and if it does go to that, it's not going to immediately just catastrophically fail. It's not like I turn it up to 1 PSI over and it turns to dust. It'll deform, it'll stretch, it'll crack, but not just let go like that.
And the same goes for the
that's crazy.
ammunition manufacturers, right? With the plus minus, I would agree with you. at roughly 15%, plus minus. So if max pressure is, whatever you said, 44,000 psi, your ammunition manufacturers are going to back it down, right? Instead of like the firearm manufacturers increase the strength capability, the ammo manufacturers typically are going to bring that down. Now, some of the more boutique stuff, not necessarily, right? You get into some of your Underwoods and some of your other stuff like that, and not necessarily. But your major manufacturers, because they understand they're huge companies and they have lots of lawyers and understand liability and all that kind of stuff, they typically do.
So if you don't want to worry about blowing your gun up, you could
Get
buy
the damn book,
one of
read
those.
it, and pay attention to what you're doing.
You could buy one of these.
Always use the
Tennis-
proper ammunition.
Tennis ball bazooka.
Why not? Why
Right
not?
to him.
Okay, you have my attention.
Went down a rabbit hole one day and couldn't be satisfied until I saw this. The rabbit hole. So saw a potato gun made up to look like a Civil War cannon. Looked familiar to an M18 recoilless, so started looking at that. Then figured potatoes were a little dangerous to switch to. So let's go to something softer. Turns out that a tennis ball, 2.5 inches, 2.5 inch schedule 40 PVC are a good match, and a tennis ball is roughly the diameter of a 2.36 rocket. Then the idea went from using combustion as I would. I was worried it would weaken the PVC over time, to compressed air. Added benefit is that the compressed air is fine legal-wise. Apparently the old hairspray or whatever combustible you were using can be considered a destructive device. So that's a little pretty damn convincing looking little critter, right?
Could fire at black powder. Go
Yeah.
real old school, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
but then you got to use actual metal.
Yeah,
Well,
if you
we
did
know
black
the
powder,
cops
if
like-
you did black powder, you would, and would probably have to have some type of a wad, something in between the tennis ball and the powder. Or it'd be a flaming tennis ball, I guess. That could be cool.
Yeah, right.
We used to make those out of the old beer cans, before they were like the regular pull top beer can. You cut the top and the bottom out of them, duct tape them together, put a hole in the bottom, use lighter fluid, and it would launch tennis balls.
Well, that's kind of what the cops need. They like to use the rubber bullets, so that's when you
Yeah.
start to upgrade.
Well, I seen something the other day, and it was just talking about the rabbit hole on this. It's funny because it was something that popped up on my YouTube feed, and it may be old news. You guys may have heard about it, but guy had a Glock, and he draws and he pulls this attachment out of his belt and clips it over the front of the slide on the Glock, and it had
I've
like a
seen it.
round that almost looked like a tennis ball, right? But actually, it looked more like the
Yeah.
size of a golf
Oh
ball.
yeah,
When
Yeah,
you
it sounds like a
fire-
golf ball.
when you fire, it captures the bullet, right? And it's this big rubber ball, basically, and it captures the bullet, and then it launches the ball instead of the bullet. So, like, it's non-lethal, right?
Let's-
Yeah, you
Wow.
get the blunt, you get the kinetic
Yeah.
energy of the ball
Yeah.
instead of the bullet.
And I'm like,
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know what I think about that. I'm like, is that kind of neat? Yeah, I guess it's kind of neat. But when you draw and you drawn appropriately in this life or death situation, why are you second guessing enough to have to put something now on there? It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
that was one of those
Well, they
things
don't
that was
need that anymore.
proposed for to be an option for less than lethal. How everybody was talking about giving a warning shot with police. Why don't the cops give them a warning shot or something like that? That was something that came out of that whole deal.
Right.
Have you seen that thing
Um,
that it's a new gadget that shoots like a little bolo, and it like if a fleeing subject is leaving, and you know how you're gonna give chase, you just pull out this little gadget and it shoots out like these little two balls with a wire, and it just wraps around the subject's leg, and they just fall. You just stop them, man. Something new that's coming out.
Yep.
I don't know the name of it, but I've seen it like on Facebook being advertised and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen them. That's not. I've seen them years ago. So
Yeah, it's just kind of funny, It'd be if the law enforcement was using that now, you know.
They got all kinds of weird stuff. I seen those. I think it was those on it was a show that come on one time. One of the channels. It was like it's Batman Tech. I think is what it was called, and it had like James Bond tech and Star Wars tech, and it had it broke down all that stuff. But it was Batman Tech, I think. Years ago, I seen something like that. And they had the grappling hook. I mean, it was just all kinds of crazy stuff that Batman supposedly has that is like real world stuff. Doesn't look the same, obviously. Doesn't necessarily work the same because you got movie magic. It's got to look pretty and work just right and all that kind of stuff for the movies. But it worked. I mean, functionally, everything that they brought out did the job.
John's out there. He said he just picked up a Taurus Model 80, an older revolver, and he was asking any good standard pressure 38 specials for defense. Already got a holster and all that kind of stuff. The old grooved flutes weren't rated for plus P, and I'd rather not tear up a gun made between 68 and 74. I think most off the shelf 38, as long as it's not plus P, I don't think there's anything out there loaded super hot that I know about, unless it's specifically
a lot of 38 special though nowadays is plus P is the problem.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Spear has the gold dots in non plus P.
Like personal defense, whatever. Yeah.
Well, personal defense. I'm talking about like just target ammo. But if you're looking for a personal defense round that's loaded light too, Hornady Critical Defense makes the Critical Defense 38s in
90 grain FXT.
Yeah,
low recoil.
They have
they have the pink tips instead of the red tips.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. The ones I've got's got a pink label on it and the pink tip. So
it's called light. I actually have a box sitting right here. Let me get my camera on. This is for 9mm, but this is the box you're looking for. It's Hornady Critical Defense Light. I don't know why I actually have this. It was the easiest thing to find for defensive ammo, but in 9mm it shoots good, so I would expect it to in a revolver as well in 38. So
John,
we have some.
If you go onto YouTube, Paul Harrell actually a couple of years ago put out like 3 or 4 videos on standard pressure 38 specials, and he does the whole Paul Harrell test. He's got a whole thing, but most of what he was shooting was out of like a little J frame. So I'm assuming your Model 80 is like a 4-inch.
A little more robust frame. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the Model 80 is. So it's like the Model 80 based off the Model 10? Smith?
So,
yeah.
That's kind of what the tip you're looking for. So I've got, this is that light stuff, and then this is some of the regular stuff. So you can see it's got the pink in there instead of the red. So that's one way to know that you're getting the lighter pressure stuff as well.
John's life on the buffalo boar thing. Paul does this in, I think, his last video.
Yeah.
One was a 148 grain full wad cutter, and another one was a 158 grain semi-wad cutter hollow point. He did state that he felt that the buffalo boar stuff was on the top end of regular pressure stuff, but I don't know. I don't really see, shooting in middle or not that bad, 60 or 70.
When you start getting boutiques, what I said earlier, they push the envelope a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking for a steel frame K-frame, putting a box or two of plus P through it, really shouldn't tear it up.
I don't think if you did that for defensive purposes, I think you'd probably be okay.
Yeah, shoot enough to make sure that it's, not shooting like 4 inches high or 3 inches to the left on those fixed sights.
Yeah.
Because if I recall, I think at least on some of the earlier Model 10s, their sights were regulated for a 158 grain round nose or semi wad cutter at about 750, 800 feet per second, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. Close. Definitely 158 grain, regardless. But yeah.
Paul Harrell don't know shit. Come on.
You take that back before I grind you up in the hamburger for besmirching the name of Bob Ross of Firearms.
He's what you call a
I concur
professional.
with Moo.
Did you guys see his black powder one? Was it today or yesterday?
He's
Yes,
done
sir.
a lot of black powder ones over the
Oh,
years.
the Ruger Old Army round
one.
wall versus conicals.
He's got
Yeah.
such a sweet old Ruger. It's like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
man.
Nice.
I'm like
Yeah.
staring at the gun.
Yeah. This last video, was it this last video?
Yeah, last
Or
one
was
was
it the one? Or was it? I was just thinking which one he talked about when he got it, but he bought that with like lawn mowing money from back when he was a kid or something.
No
And you're like,
way. That's
Mhm.
cool.
and you're like, oh my God, because those are high dollar nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially the shorter barrel stainless ones that they only made for a couple of years.
Hmm.
I must be the weird one out of the bunch. I've never watched a Paul Harrell video in my life.
You know, I never
Weirdo.
watched much Paul Harrell up until, I don't know, maybe a year ago,
Get out.
something like that. But yeah, depending on what pops up on my feed now, and what he puts out new, yeah, I'll go watch it. It also depends on how long, because some of his stuff, man, he can get crazy long with it, and I'm just,
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
yeah.
also gets down to the fine detail, which he does say, hey, if you don't like the chronograph, skip ahead until I get to the number so you can see here.
Right.
Or then
Right.
skip ahead to where we take
Right.
apart the meat.
but he
target.
also is not very adapt as a creator to put freaking timestamps in. Paul, come on,
Get with
do
it,
that
Paul.
nowadays on YouTube videos. Come
Well,
on,
give
man.
him a call and say, hey, if you'll give me a box of Lucky Charms every month,
If
I'll
I
put
ever see
timestamps on
him,
it.
which I doubt I ever will, but if I ever run into him at a trade show, shot show, or anything else, we will have that discussion about freaking timestamps in his videos.
I can't really talk because my videos are about 20 minutes long average, so I understand the long video thing.
Clover, how'd you like that Savage straight pull?
Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
those are amazing.
That is
Yeah.
some cool stuff right there.
Those are
it's cool to
amazing,
see
man.
that. That's cool
Um,
to see that become popular, or come back again.
Well, I
straight
talked to so I talked to him about it, and I'm like, what possessed Savage would even do this? And he was like, well, two reasons. Number one, political climate, and with all this, talk with, bans and all this other stuff, and not just on a federal level, but on a state level. And they're like, technically it's a bolt action, but it's considerably faster than a traditional bolt action, which it is. It's leaps and bounds quicker. He said, so that's number one, although that's not really the big one. He said, honestly, the big one is, and it was kind of a 1-2 thing, a combination, but he said the big one was that's been popular overseas for a very long time.
Mhm.
And Savage wanted to try to expand into those markets, which,
Cool.
I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sit down on that thing, man. And of course I've got experience with the Accu triggers and everything. So, definitely not a novice on, as far as working the bolt. I mean, sure, I hadn't played with that rifle before, but, just the feel of it other than that, and the trigger and everything else was something that I've shot 1,000 times, right? Or more.
Yeah.
And so it surprised me when I was 1 o'clock or something on the X. And then the second shot fell and it was almost right on top of that. And the third shot fell and it was almost right on top of that. I'm like, holy crap. And it was like 0.4 MOA or something like that. I mean, first 3 shots I had ever shot from a brand new production rifle that I'd never shot before. You know what I mean? I was like, crap. And I said something to him and he was like, he's like, I was like, so, cause I hit the Savage booth like, I think that was the last booth I stopped by at the end of the day. And so I asked him, I said, if it wasn't, it was pretty close. And I said, hey man, I said, you've had a lot of people. I said, anybody else shoot it that good? And he's like, believe it or not, he said He said, that might be the best group that I've seen all day. He said, but I will tell you this, not by much. He's like, the worst ones that have shot this today, the worst groups were slightly above MOA. He's like, I would say they're probably maybe 1.3, 1.4, maybe MOA. And at that point I was like, yeah, it's the rifle then. That's a sweet rifle. Of course, they're the projected MSRP and everything. They're proud of it too, because it's going to be over $1,000. It looks like.
Well, it's new, and I'm sure that there's. What was it? Oh, I was listening to something from Bloke on the Range that the whole straight pull mechanism. It is depending on what it is a lot more complicated, and it's just newer than or different than. Well, we're going to go in here with this cutter, machine off 2 grooves, and your bolt locks in. There's a lot more kind of fiddly bits to it.
No, there absolutely is. You're right. And, the other thing is people hear Savage and they have the Axis in their mind, right? $300 or whatever, right? Or they have let's say the Model 10 SR, which is $500 or $600, right? And so 1,000 sounds like a lot. Well, I've got the Savage Model 10 FCPHS, which MSRP on it was $1,000 plus. I didn't get that. I bought it used. But at the time new, I don't know what they go for now, but at the time new, those were, right around that price. So, is that expensive for a bolt action rifle? Yeah,
it depends on which market you're going for.
Right. Some would say that it is. Others would say it's fair, and then others are going to say it's a heck of a deal. So,
well, that's why a lot of people in the precision community still use Savage as a platform to build off of if they're starting to get into the sport. It's one of the best ones you can get into for that price point.
I know people, man. I know people that have literally bought a brand new Savage Axis just for the action, and then send that action off. Savage Sharpshooters, is that what it is? Yeah, Savage Sharpshooters. Great place. Get that action, blueprinted, tuned, tweaked, the whole 9, and then custom barrel, custom stock, custom everything else. So they buy a $300 Savage Axis, and then by the time they're done, they've dumped $1,500, $1,800, $2,000 in it, and they've got a heck of a rifle. They got a sweet rifle, but built off of literally a $300 Savage Action, which is kind of crazy.
We have people where we do once a year, we try doing 1,000 yards for $1,000, and whoever wins that one gets normally it's one of the higher end prizes and stuff like that. And the last couple of years, I'm pretty sure it's been somebody who's built off of a Savage platform.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I've taken mine now. Mine has been sent to Savage Sharpshooter. It had some work done on it prior to me getting it, and the guy I bought it from, it come with optics. It come the package deal. And he sent, when I bought it, I think it was years ago, man. I can't remember now. And I don't think it was Arms List. I want to say it was Gunbroker is where I bought it. But I mean, he sent all the receipts where, he'd had all the work done and everything else. And I'm going to tell you what, I've been on the 300 yard back when I was a member of the range, about an hour away from me. And that's why I'm not really a member anymore. I don't regularly drive that direction. But when I was, I can't tell you the number of high dollar custom rifles that my Model 10, and like I said, it's pretty much stock with the exception of about $200 or maybe $300 worth of custom work to the action. It's pretty much stock, and with 168 grain federal gold medal match or a reloaded equivalent, which I've kind of got that nailed down nowadays. Man, that thing would eat those custom rifles for lunch, man, as far as accuracy. I mean, it's just insane. I'm talking about, people talk about, getting sub MOA at, 300 yards, or is it MOA at 300 yards? This thing is touching. I mean, almost, if I was a better shot, probably could put them in the same hole, and given wind conditions and other things, could put them in the same hole at 300 yards, could put them in the same hole at 500 yards with it. I mean, just it's insane. And from what I witnessed with that Impulse, I don't see how it would be any different. I mean, and I don't know if it's I don't know why, but that action just seems like a lot better, a more accurate, not only a faster action, but a more accurate action as well.
What caliber were you shooting?
It was 6.5 Creed. That was
a 6.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which of the markets do you think Savage is going for with this rifle? Are they going for the high-end hunter, high-end hunting one, or
I would say
the
probably
precision starters?
Yeah.
Probably long-range hunting, right?
Yeah, they're going for hunter because there's multiple models of it, and I forget which one that was that I shot, but it was the camo stock, the fluted barrel, and I can't remember if that was the Predator hunter, but they've got one that's like the pig hunter or the hog hunter, and then they got the regular version, and then they've got like 3 or 4 different versions of it.
Yeah, they have the short-barreled ones are the ones they call the hog hunter, I think.
Yeah. I don't remember, but
they used to do a really cool hog skull stock for it too. Back in a couple of years ago, when they had for the hog hunter, it was pretty neat looking,
Yeah.
But I think that's like a 18-inch barrel or something like that. It's shorter.
Well, and you said that's going to be about $1,000, right, Clover?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen a nailed down MSRP on it, so I don't know. Could be 1,000, could be 12. It's going to be 1,000 plus. I mean, there's just no doubt about that.
Look, so I look at it this way: if it's at about $1,000, you can get some Remington 700s that are up there for about $1,000. And I'm trying to think, like, if I'm going action for action, there's a lot of the times that I would actually take Savage over.
Oh yeah,
Remington
no
stuff.
doubt, no doubt, yeah, no doubt.
I just pulled Savage up. I wanted to see if they had the MSRPs on it listed here.
I don't make a habit of putting any pricing in videos because that gets sticky when you start doing that. Even if it's MSRP, I mean, it's still it's the nuances they don't understand. And so if you mention a price and they're like, "Oh, you're selling," and it's like, "No, I'm not selling anything." Yeah, there's
and even with it being
they do 1,300, 1,400.
1377.
Big game, hog hunter, and predator. Big game is the one I shot.
And even then, if you put MSRP and they understand it, with it being the new hotness, prices, might be MSRP plus, might be under MSRP.
Yeah. And the big game is the one, if I was going to get one, of course, I've been hounding them to try to send me one for months now, but when I talked to him Monday, I didn't say anything to him about that because he wasn't the marketing guy. But I did say, we were talking about it, and he said, he kind of chuckled, and he's like, they're like 6 months behind just on what they got to get out to meet the agreements or whatever they've got. So.
But the Hog Hunter's got the shorter 18-inch barrel. 308. 30-06 has a 20-inch barrel. The Win Mag 300 Win Mag has the 24-inch. And the 6.5 has a 20-inch too.
Yeah. Then you've got the Predator. It's available in some smaller calibers and has a bigger box mag. Looks like there's a difference on it.
I know my Savage has a 10-round mag, my 308.
I'm trying to think if there's a 300 Win Mag that's a pretty damn good 300 Win Mag for even around that price point. That doesn't seem like it's too bad for a good 300 Win Mag.
Hasn't Ruger been releasing Magnum Action Americans?
I don't believe they have it. I believe it's 6.5 Creedmoor 308 30-06, and I think for some reason they did
like their 6mm or 6 Creedmoor or something like that.
Yeah, I think they did the 6 Creedmoor too.
Yeah, I mean that price range, I would agree for 300 Win Mag. Yeah.
I mean, and if somebody in the chat or anything's never shot a 300 Win Mag, That's a fun round to shoot.
300
shot-
Weatherby Magnum is even better.
See,
I haven't
that's
shot
one
a
that's on my
300
list.
Yeah.
Win mag,
Oh,
but I have
love
shot a semi-auto 7mm rim mag from a custom shop up north here. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
With the big game version of the Impulse, the price goes up to $1447 MSRP.
Yeah.
Longer barrel on a couple of them, and you can get it in the 300 Winchester short mag also, not just the 300 Win mag, and you can get it in 243 also.
Yeah, so
Why
it
does it
looks
look
like
like
you got
it's got
short
a-
action, long
Yeah, they
action, and
offer
magnum
the-
action.
That Predator, they offer it in 22 250, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's what I'm just about to pull that one up now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Predator
All the-
has the longer mags too. Yeah. So will those mags fit in the other one? That would be, I would assume so.
Are they
That's a good-
using?
That's a good question.
Because-
should say if it's using like Accuracy International or if they're doing their own thing.
No, it does not, because it says right there 10 round AICS magazine with an ambidextrous release. So
Yeah,
if you go to the other ones, it is a different mag system.
Accuracy International combat.
So that's not going to run AR mags then, is it? Because that's
New.
No.
No.
No,
No.
And I know, like mine has the 10 round mags. They're not like a AR mag or anything like that. It's a proprietary mag.
Mhm.
So yeah, this one the 22 250, 243, 308, 65. So it's smaller calibers. You don't have any of those big old honking 300 Win
22
mags.
250 is just such a barrel burner, though, man. It's like, of course, probably not going to shoot it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then 243 is too with the lighter load or the lighter bullets.
This is true, yeah.
But with 243, you can always load it with heavy ones and be just fine.
I mean, what is that, like approaching like the 4,000 feet per second is the barrel burners kind of a thing?
Oh, yeah.
It's not so much speed as it is how overboard you are compared with how large in diameter the case is compared to your actual bore.
Yeah, that's throat erosion is what you're talking about, which is a problem, too,
Yeah.
when you get into that, yeah.
Nice looking rifle though.
But, I mean, you
Yeah.
could put a couple boxes through it a year pretty easily and never have an issue, probably.
Yeah. Most people are talking about barrels being worn out in thousands of rounds instead of tens of thousands of rounds.
Right.
And
Yeah.
for some being burnt out as well as this gun for the last 3 years has shot quarter MOA all its life, and now it's 1 MOA or half
Mhm.
MOA.
Right.
So,
Yep. And they call that shot out, yeah.
So you're just basically losing your rifling, right?
you're
Well,
It's
increases
throat
the-
erosion, so you got
It
more of a
increases the jump, right?
yeah, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And
the
some-
throat or the lead, which is spelt like lead, but anyway, yeah. Which you can
So
load.
start-
You can load and offset a little bit of that. You can also load and help prohibit a little bit of that.
So
yes,
what
and
what it
depending on the
does-
rifle, you could take it to a gunsmith and they will literally face off 10 or 15 thousandths and off the end and just recut the chamber.
Gotcha.
There was one too. We're talking about barrels and stuff like that. Here's another one.
For once you
These are
get
pretty-
that done, though, you could probably just replace the barrel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
So I just want to take a little tangent here while I got Clover on board. I didn't get to go look at that Beretta Neos 22 because I had to go pick up my wife. But anyway, I mean, what do you think of it? I mean, what's your, give me the 30,000.
It doesn't crack my top 5 of 22 handguns. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
That being said, I think it is a phenomenal choice for teaching kids because the grip is very small on it. but yeah, it's fun. I mean, that's about all I can say. That's about all the good. It's fun and it's accurate enough. Don't get me wrong. It's accurate enough. If you're just going to plink around and play around, not going to have a problem with it. It's reliable enough. That's another thing. One big issue that I've seen out of them is, and this happens with most 22s that have that style of action, right? So whether it's a Buckmark, a High Standard, a Neos, a Smith & Wesson Victory, whatever it might be, 22 ammo is dirty. And so I see it happen a lot quicker, it seems like, with the Neos than any of the other ones. But as you build up dirt and crud on the chamber face or whatever, right? Breech face, I guess, whatever you want to call it. You definitely want to wear iPro, which, I mean, that's a given to me any freaking time you're shooting a gun. Right. But you definitely want to make sure, because it will throw powder back. And what it's doing, it's not like powder in the cartridge coming back. What's happening is all that powder and that gunk and that buildup that gets on the bolt face as it's loading around in, and the extractor is moving in and out of the groove and all of that buildup, what it's doing is it's slinging that back on you. Is what it's doing. So that's something definitely to be mindful of. And those, I see those do it worse than any other, seems like. But yeah, I mean, fun, accurate enough. And like I said, as far as grip size, oh man, it is a great,
nice feeling.
Great. It's got a really deep cut. So I mean, it's great for I'd say medium, small hands, big hands, maybe not so much. But especially for kids, the way that it's got its deep cut, the grip is fairly thin and everything. Great trainer for youth, I think, anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Kind of a fun, cool looking gun, for kids. Just go have fun with it, stuff like that. Yeah, cool.
When you're talking about as far as fit for little hands, and I'm talking as young as 8, 9 years old. It and the older model anyway. I need to get my hands on a newer model, Walther P22, but the grip on it is really conducive for younger kids too. And of course, the Ruger Bearcat. When we're talking a revolver, if we're talking about a good 22 revolver for a kiddo, you can't hardly beat a Bearcat. The grip on it is almost ideal, almost perfect.
Cool. Thanks, man.
So, what model of Neos you looking at?
Awesome.
4-inch, 6-inch?
The 4-inch.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
you said it was inox, right? Stainless.
Actually, they have both.
Yeah. Ooh. Ain't no difference, bro, except for the way they look.
And they're both at $300.
Well, if they're both the same price, then I would probably go the inox.
Right on.
Just because it's the inox, so technically it is worth a little more than $300. They're both used, or are they new?
Brand new.
Oh wow, yeah, I would almost definitely go inox then.
Okay, right on. Thanks.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Some sweet looking barrels here.
Yeah, that almost looked like an archery case for a second. I was like, "Where do we talk archery?" But that's like interchangeable barrels or something.
It looks like a pool cue.
It does, don't it?
Man, look at that.
I can tell you, quite a few guys run carbon fiber barrels in the PRS competitions that I shoot, and they are some of the sexiest things to see get pulled out of a case. Ooh.
Helix 6 carbon fiber rifle barrels. Yeah, that's the only reason I pulled them up. I was like, man, they look fucking sweet.
Mm-hmm.
They look fucking sweet, but they're very expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So these are just barrels. It's not like an interchangeable system.
Yeah, 220. They go from 224 caliber to 338. Install the barrels themselves into a pre-fit Savage or Ruger precision rifle barrel, or carbon fiber barrel blanks are available for chambering and fitting to your rifle by a gunsmith. That's all the blanks that they have and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I don't know. I just pulled it up just because I don't know. That shit's so cool looking. You know what I mean? Like, it's just badass looking rifle, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how they compare to like the Christensen arms, because I know they've been doing them for better part of half a decade now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, talking about $2,000 rifles.
Yeah, this one's kind of neat. This one up at the the second one, the top one's black. The second one has that like bluish gray and white and black camo. The muzzle brake's the same kind of like bluish color. That's pretty neat. It's got like a colored. It's like iodized or something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like it's anodized.
Anodized, I meant. Yeah, not iodized. Yeah, it's salt. It's got salt. It's iodized.
Yeah.
Anodized, I meant. Yeah, it's pretty sweet looking. That's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, it's salty, right? That's salty, man.
I bet it is. That
you
muzzle brake, that muzzle brake's probably as much as my rifle was.
Well, that muzzle brake would definitely assault your ears if you were sitting in the wrong place.
Yeah, it actually looks a lot like mine. I have the
It's worth more
VGS,
than your car.
the VG6.
I can't really tell. That's like just slotted on like both sides, right?
Mm-hmm, probably.
Yeah.
Slots and on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got a vice brake. You know, we're talking about 300 Win Mags earlier, so I got a Ruger 77 with a vice brake on it, and it's just a little long, skinny brake with a lot of holes, right?
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, vice brakes are great for recoil, cut and recoil. I mean, they're wonderful. The vice brakes are. I guarantee you that vice brake cuts by minimum probably 30% the recoil on that 300 Win Mag. But here's the thing: if you are on a range, the people beside you will hate you. And if you're on a range that is, and you're shooting under cover, like you've got a covered shooting area,
Yeah.
they will, your tires will be slashed when you leave the range.
My my father-in-law's hunting rifle, he has a 338 Win Mag. It has one of those kind of brakes on it where it's just like, the bunch of holes in it. It's just same diameter as the barrel. Looks just like a barrel
Basically,
extension,
yeah.
but it's got a bunch of holes in it. Yeah.
Loud. Very, very,
Yeah.
very loud.
Pretty much
I'll tell
any
you what,
brake on
though.
any center-fired rifle is loud
Yeah.
and concussive. Even something like 223s with
This is
people's
true.
fancy
This is
ARs
true.
and their big Mikulik brakes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. His three, it does a good job though. Like you're saying, I've shot his 338 and it's not at all what I thought it was going to be. It was like shooting 308 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't bad. All right.
A good brake can
So,
make all the difference in the world when it comes to recoil.
Oh yeah.
A
For sure.
suppressor does even better, but some
Well,
people don't get that luxury.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what's on the Instagrams here.
The IGs.
The IG.
Carbon fiber HS. Can you elaborate on that sentence there, Play Nice?
Carbon. Anyone have any experience with the carbon fiber HS?
As far as how would they do that? Well, they start out with basically just an extremely thin-walled either tube where they just take a barrel blank and turn it a lot thinner than they normally would, and then they just wrap the carbon fiber over it. And
Right.
Oh, the Howa
Howa
HS. Mm.
Nope, I've had experience with the heavy barrel thumbhole stock 243 stainless Howa. It's very nice and very heavy.
I have the Howa 1500 Legacy. It's got the Hogue overmolded stock. That's a nice rifle. That's got the bolt on that is fantastic. It's super smooth and really nice. I was really surprised. I shouldn't say surprised, but
Howa
happy
builds
with
good stuff.
yeah, that's a really nice rifle. Jeffrey Epstein's Palm Beach estate sold for $18 million. Funds from the sale will go towards victims. I say this just because it's pretty amazing that we haven't heard anything coming from the Epstein thing. It's been how long now? A year and a half?
But is it really?
But my Bill Clinton. But my Bill Clinton.
That's what I'm saying.
I bought it. I'll
But
have to
is
go
it
down and
really weird? We haven't heard anything. Is it really?
I was saying that facetiously, yeah, too. It's kind
I mean, is it really weird that we don't hear anything on pretty much any case,
Right.
any court proceedings that's not like 2 or 3 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good shot. Yeah.
Kmart
Oh.
sucks.
We got a cool guy. We got a cool guy. Cool guy. Oh.
I was half expecting that cooler lid just to
Yeah.
crunch
Well,
and go flat.
At least he didn't do it in front of anybody. You know what I mean?
Only everybody.
Yeah. Two Live Moo. I think you sent this to me by mistake. Yeah, you probably meant to send this to your wife, but
So,
I
bet you-
got us a couch.
I bet you next time he throws a beach towel over that cooler before he does that.
Something. I got us a couch. Really? Wait, you mean a couch? No,
I'm leaving
it's
you.
a couch.
I'm leaving
Wow.
It's a couch.
That's pretty awesome.
I thought it was
Looks
like
like
that is
Kawasaki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like one of those molded
Kawasaki.
fiberglass chairs.
Uh huh. I hope gas prices don't get too high. Gas prices.
Yep.
This was really neat. So this chick is like she's like a beekeeper or something, and she had
For at least 2 years, the landlord wanted to call an exterminator.
Oh, she's smoking.
yeah. So this guy called her because they were going to call an exterminator to come and destroy, to get these bees out of this shed they had.
Mm-hmm.
And she just comes out like no mask, no gloves, no freaking nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to watch how many
The woman
though.
who lived here wanted to save the bees, so they called me. When I lifted up the floor, I found a huge hive full of gentle bees. The hive was so big I had to remove another section of floor to access the entire thing. Then I started removing the hive. Whatever I removed from the original hive went right into the new one so the bees would have everything they need to survive. After I removed all of the comb, I started scooping bees into the new hive.
Mhm.
As soon as I put the bees by the new hive, they marched right in.
It'd just be
Then a
crazy.
stream of bees began running
I know, it's nuts, isn't it?
to the new hive. So I waited.
That's
and
not for
watched to
me.
see if I could
Anybody
scoop
ever smoked a
one bee
hive
in
or
the
anything before?
After about 15 minutes,
Nope.
Roll call smoked a lot of shit, I'm sure, but I don't know.
I
if he's
know,
ever
right?
smoked people.
Yeah.
But I
So-
get you. I bet you money after one too many PBRs, we could get him to smoke bees.
So
weird. So I put
Get him
the
smoke
bees
anything.
safe.
I have
Once the queen was in the new hive, some bees began.
I've been a party at least to smoking many and dealing with bees, and there may be some varieties. I'm not saying go out and do what this lady's doing, but this is totally realistic. The only time in my life I've ever been stung by a bee, I squished said bee. There was a reason he stung me. You know what I mean? And I've literally bees love soda. So in the summertime, you leave a soda out for a second. I've literally had bees in my mouth before, and open my mouth and they fly out and never get stung. So, but that's like I said, don't try that at home because
That's crazy.
different types of bees, you might get some aggressive bees, and then you would be screwed. But
Yeah, she just like scoops them up. It's just crazy to see it though. It's like
Oh yeah.
bees get a bad rap. Bees do get a bad rap, man. They just do.
Well, that's because of all those ground yellow jackets or hornets, whatever. Those things
These
can
Japanese hornets.
burn in hell.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know the difference between a bee and a wasp or a hornet.
Yeah, it's just something stung them, and so they, get all pissy about it.
They get like,
My eyeball.
You guys know that your body will literally tell you what it needs. All you have to do is listen to it.
Go fuck some bitches, nigga. Damn.
You guys know that
your body will tell you what you need.
Yeah, my body's telling me I need pizza right now.
So, Mad Sexy linked to me in this, and he said only I would fall for this. Blinker fluid.
Nice.
Yeah. And I said,
Yeah,
yeah, I have
put some in my car.
I said, yeah, I have a jug. Haven't needed it yet, just in case. I guess my truck
So-
gets above average blinker mileage.
So they do make stuff like that. And I'm not talking about a real product, but they do make jugs that say weird things and stuff like that. I've seen them before in like people's garages and stuff. Just,
Shit, I was doing it
just on a
wrong.
shelf, just a novelty thing, but still.
Like
When I
bug
owned my
juice.
shop, I was doing it wrong. I should have had some of that shit. I could have gotten some up sales on that.
Right.
one of the
Look, it's
weirder
Pinocchio.
things. when hand sanitizer was like unobtainium, I stopped into a gas station by my house, and they had oil containers, like oil quart containers, plastic ones with hand sanitizer in them. Somebody was making it and putting them in there. I thought that was pretty neat.
That's cool.
Just in case anybody wants to know, Fauci now says putting a fan on your head to blow the virus away is better than a mask.
Do you expect any less from Pinocchio? Let's be honest here.
Maybe.
People who voted for gun control, come back at you. Gonna get you. Yes, I'm interested in extending my vehicle's warranty. The phone agent, he's like, oh my God. Finally.
It's an 83 Cordova. Well, like most of it. Yeah, it's
Right.
missing like an engine, the driver quarter panel, and everything else.
So I still maintain one of my customers' vehicles, and it's a 2005 Lamborghini. I always like trying to get him to quote that out, or else he's got a couple older classics, like he's got an old Mercedes SLS, and I always try giving him that one. Every time I give him that VIN number on there, they tell me to go screw myself really quickly.
Is that a cow on a bed?
That's a 2 Live Moo got drunk and was sending me texts by accident last night to send of his wife. He said, very interested.
He was drunk.
Adult Dalmatian dog.
Have you seen? It's an old YouTube video, and I think it was YouTube. But the lady that literally lives with a buffalo.
No.
Yeah, in her house. Like seriously.
That's weird. I think
I
I've seen that.
like this one. Dang squirrels are getting so big this year.
Holy crap! That's funny.
Look at
That's funny.
Isn't that crazy? And he's like, hey, what are you laughing at? Some bitch. Look at him scooting across that damn thing.
Look, the bear was
That's the
just trying to
ugliest
entertain
cat I've
itself
ever
by
seen.
playing the ground as lava.
Nothing to see here.
They need to capture him, put him in a circus, dude. Seriously. He can do that. He can ride a unicycle, right?
This guy's asking, so do y'all blow on food when it's hot, or do you just do the thing till you can chew it?
Both.
Yeah.
With your chef spoon. Bite her face.
Damn it, Midnight, your Chinese recipe got out.
Yeah. I actually have a scar on my nose from a dachshund bit me in the damn nose one time.
He probably deserved it.
Roll call. This is, I bet you never heard of this one. These 2 women have COVID-19 linked to 1 cup not properly washed at a newly reopened restaurant. Don't believe me? Google 2 girls, 1 cup for the article.
Oh.
Drooling people for the last 20 years.
Dang.
Pattern placement is key when sewing. Always remember.
Mom demand action.
Yeah. Food demands action.
Yeah. It reminds me of Super Troopers.
I want this thing so bad. This is awesome.
I cannot believe my girlfriend got me one of these. Like, hello, I'm talking to you. Fuck you. That shit's awesome. Cannot believe my girlfriend got me one of these. Like, hello, I'm talking to you. Fuck you. That shit's awesome.
I want one of those.
Yeah, definitely.
Road rage.
I'm going to see if I can find that on Amazon.
Yep. Banks don't like Bitcoin. Taxis don't like Uber. Hotels don't like Airbnb. Bookstores don't like Amazon. Cinemas don't like Netflix. 9-to-5s don't like remote work. Innovation is not always liked. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't start with the family stuff. Like, your family's so perfect. Your brother's a pervert.
Don't talk to me about the sexual habits of family members. What about your sister?
My sister's been through a lot.
A dick.
Don't start with the family.
If you think your life sucks, imagine being a person so consumed with fear that you believe that you might finally be able to get together with a small group of people on the 4th of July, but only if a man with dementia says it's okay.
You know the thing.
The thing I sent you?
I'm no good at fixing cars, but I don't think this is supposed to happen.
God. Holy crap.
Damn retread.
He ran out of power steering fluid.
That's pretty rough.
Wow.
The Ford warranty department will tell you that that's okay.
I have driven stuff in my earlier days being a mechanic, and mostly alignment and undercar and stuff like that, suspension. I have actually driven some that was pretty close to being that bad.
So
Wow.
this innovation is not always liked thing is kind of, I saw that and this was right behind it. That's why I got both of them, but I'm gonna put pizza machine.
Oh heck yeah!
Damn.
How's that $15 an hour
conveyor
sounding
belt.
right now? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put some Sassuage on there too. Pepperoni,
Be replaced.
ham, pepperoni, and Sassuage. Yeah.
You want to know the really sad part
Jalapenos.
is that's actually in Wisconsin. That's a Wisconsin-based company because the machine that it goes onto to overwrap that, I used to rebuild those at my last job, the one that I just left. And that's going on to a Shanklin, and that's what that machine is there that is going on now. It'll take it and overwrap that with the plastic on there.
So they're doing frozen pizza. That's not like cooked to order type.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a frozen pizza.
That could definitely be cooked to order, though. I mean,
Yeah, why not?
Depending on how many of the different bins and hoppers you put onto it.
Well, all you have to do is instead of going onto that, it just goes straight into an oven and
goes into an oven, comes out the other end, goes into a box, and then
one person. Yep, one person
slaps a label on it to tell you what the customer's name is, and it's done, baby.
Oh, Midnight, that waving hand and flipping off hand, I put the link in the chat to get that. It's $50.
Oh, there you go.
I got one ordered.
Nice. Man convicted of murder sues Hertz for not producing receipt in a timely manner that would prove his innocence. A man convicted of murder sues Hertz for not. Oh yeah, proves that. According to People, a Michigan man convicted of in 2011 murder has sued Hertz for not handing over a receipt that would have helped clear his innocence. Found guilty in 2016. Blah, blah, blah. The receipt confirmed that Alfred was renting a car at an airport near Lansing, Michigan, right around the time the murder took place. It was probably Moo's daughter. She probably slammed into the mail truck and then went and killed somebody.
How horrible of a defense attorney would you have to have?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking who the fuck handled this case?
Right.
And what kind of, and even the judge or something when you say
that's a public defender for you.
Yeah.
It's a subpoena. It's called a subpoena, people.
Yeah.
Well, keep reading. It said that they handed over several subpoenas, and Hertz just told them to go pound sand.
Well, there are other things you can go. You can go beyond that.
Carol Simon, Ingham's County prosecuting attorney, said that the evidence was a key factor, but was not available at the original trial. We do not believe that we can prove Mr. Alfred's legal culpability by the beyond a reasonable doubt standard. She wrote, therefore, the office dismisses the case against him. If the receipt was obtained sooner, Alfred might have never been convicted. I think we can presume that if prosecutors don't think they can prosecute the case with alibi proof now, then they should have done it then. I think Hertz really dropped the ball here. You think so? The company has since said it is deeply saddened to learn of Mr. Alfred's experience. While we're unable to find the historic rental record from 2011 when it was requested in 2015, we continued our good faith efforts to locate it. Advances in data search in a few years were able to locate the rental record in 18 and promptly provide it. So they weren't, their systems weren't able to find it back in the day, and the newer systems were able to find it. Which I'm not saying I don't believe them, because I know from working in a restaurant, sometimes there's things that you can go back and find, and there's some things that you would think you'd be able to, and we haven't. Some records are just, I don't know, they're just not.
Wouldn't he have a record on his bank statement?
You would think so. I mean, unless he paid cash, and I mean, who knows?
You gotta have a credit card.
Yeah, you have to have a credit card on there for any damages and stuff like that.
That's true. I don't know. Guy got fucked. That's all I know.
Yes, but the receipt would have given you the actual time. Your check or your bank statement would just say, "Oh yes, on this date you rented something."
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is they should have been able to pull up at least some type of GPS record, because Hertz has been putting GPS in their vehicles, I think, since like 2010 is when they finally started GPSing all of their vehicles in case someone decided, hey, I'm going to rent this and just not give it back. So they should have been able to pull up a GPS record for that as well.
Is that my shirt?
This here's a video of that of this guy's defense attorney as a kid.
The one giving or the one getting?
Exactly. Do it again.
Well, you said stand there. Ooh.
I'm built different.
You're wrong. I'm built different.
Ah.
And I'm going, what? Period.
Mom?
I'm built different.
You're wrong. I'm built different.
Snowy, you got to control your girlfriend, man. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. What she's been doing. That's the worst Tinder profile I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, it caught me.
That's not saying much.
If she'll date a Yeti, she's all good for me.
This is for
that's a shirt for old biker ladies.
That's my shirt.
Bloop.
That's for when the breast implants deflate.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh man.
Uh-oh. I see electropads.
Yeah, this is Roll Call's wife actually bought this for Roll Call for Christmas this year.
Oh my God, I put my swim thing on and my fingers don't know how to act. Okay. Put him up one more time. Oh my God.
Damn it, Cindy.
I don't remember what this is.
Now look at this.
Oh, what a weird ass cat. It's like the weirdest cat ever.
Just wanted a drink.
Like, yeah. The guy's like, what the fuck? Here's one.
It's drinking its own bathwater.
Here's one from that for the chefs. These guys do a lot of good restaurant memes. When someone from the head office comes in and starts to expedite, just fucking. Who the fuck is this asshole?
Which wallet's yours?
Did you see this video of this chick?
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see this one.
Just a.
Now
Ugh.
11 and streaming on CBSN Bay Area. A Bay Area.
They arrested her. They arrested her ass.
Yeah.
She took her mask off. The guy told her to put it back on. He was an Uber driver. She got all fucking flippy and got all bent out of shape. Then he pulled over and told him to get out, and she freaked out on him. And it was just
well, I saw her kind of reach to slap him, so that's an assault charge right there.
Yeah, that's what she got, assault, yeah. California man arrested for robbing and assaulting elderly Asian man. It's the only reason I pulled this up is just the what do you call it, identity politics in this, right? Like,
right.
you know what I mean? It's just such a weird. We're in such a weird time where everybody has to know everything, and it has to be,
labeled.
There must be a reason behind it. It must be because he's Asian, right? Not just because the dude was looking to rob somebody and the guy just happened to be a fucking older guy.
Well, no, they did a thing on Crowder this week. There is a pandemic of black dudes attacking Asian people.
Yeah,
there really is. There is a numerous.
Yeah, I know it went up.
Video and stuff where Asians are being attacked by black guys.
Olivia Munn came out that a friend of I think it was a friend. I think it was her mom or dad or something got attacked, and she went on a social media, rampage, to find that guy. And they were like saying, like find this dude. He attacked a friend's relative. And it was crazy, man.
George has never felt safer.
It's
What are you talking about, man? I've always been attacked because the way I sound and look like, man.
Philadelphia mayor's at it again. They're always trying to jack with gun rights down there. It's a mess.
Does this guy actually know that straw purchases are already illegal?
Well, it's like the whole Feinstein thing when she said it's illegal to hunt deer with more than 5 rounds or whatever, but it's legal to hunt people with 30 rounds because she wanted to ban 30-round magazines, and it's like, well,
wait, it's legal.
I don't recall
Why the hell
looking
do
at
we
the.
still have pedophiles?
I don't remember seeing on the DNR's chart there of, I see duck license, fishing license, combo license. I don't see no human or pedophile license.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
David Hogg, remind me again, how many AR-15s did Jesus own? This guy commented, not enough to avoid being murdered by his government.
That was a good one, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did this. I'm glad you did this because I see a nice little news article sitting down there about mass shooting surging in Wisconsin. I'm going to have to research that because I live here and I don't remember seeing more of them.
Here's why I have that. Here, it says, this is what propaganda looks like here in America. Wake up, people. You are being manipulated. Mass shooting surge in Wisconsin as nation faces record high. Mass shooting surges in Tennessee. Like, it's just the same shit over and over and over again. Even the same pictures in Tennessee and South Carolina.
So if anyone's curious, in Wisconsin, mass shootings are not surging. The only thing that they're trying to use as mass shooting right now that's happened in recent history in Wisconsin is a bunch of gangbangers decided they were going to get into an argument instead of dealing with it like men. 15-year-old kid went and got a rifle, walked into a mall, shot 5 people, missed everybody he was aiming at, and hit 5 innocent bystanders. That mall has since taken down their gun-free zone signs because they realized, hey, if there was a good guy with a gun in there, maybe they could have stopped this dumbass kid before he hurt 5 innocent people.
And remember, it's better to be a bang ganger. Right.
I'm sorry, what?
It's better to be in a gang bang than be a gang banger.
There you go.
Once you hit a certain age, you become permanently unimpressed by a lot of shit.
That's 100% true.
It certainly is. You're just like, whatever, just whatever.
Believe it or not.
That dude's on fire. Yeah, well, shit happens, I guess.
I told him not to smoke over there.
Yeah.
Well, go get the fire extinguisher. What the hell are you telling me for?
What's so funny is the dude walks right up to him, doesn't even see him. He's in the ghillie suit. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Is Moo doing renovation?
Kinky tag. I think it was Kinky Sphincter tagged me in this because we've shown this one.
Yeah.
I am. I'll tell you what. Ever since I was young, Folding ladders, I'm okay with, but like these kind of stand up straight
extension.
ladders, extension ladders, I'm fucking terrified of, and this is why. Like,
Ooh.
That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
yeah,
Been there, done that. Actually,
I know, man. I'm
That's
like,
That's not how
I'm
Jackie
not a
Chan
fan of
does
those
it.
myself.
yeah, he made out like a bandit. Tell you the truth.
yeah, they're. I don't know. It makes me wonder a lot of different things about that. You know, first of all, on that deck or whatever it is, that's man. I would have laid something
Slick.
down. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
set
it's
it
slick.
just on that. Yeah, but I have slipped off of. The problem I've had with them more than anything is your weight shift and then it slide. The top of it slide right, and basically you ride it. You just ride it all the way to the ground. There ain't nothing else you can do.
That thing doesn't have like a hook on it or something. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, some do, some don't.
I don't know what this is. Oh. I don't know 100% if this is a setup or not. If this is supposed to be funny or, I mean, I don't know.
That shit up in my blink. Shoot his ass up. I'm with the shits. His ass a bitch. I keep a blink. Yeah. Four of them don't give.
Dude's just
What the
being a
fuck?
fucking. Yeah. I don't know.
You remember that thing that said you become permanently unimpressed by shit?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Imagine if they would have gone off, man. Jeez.
Why is this have no sound? Oh, there it is.
It's bottom there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, usually it's not in that spot. Usually it's over here on the right.
He still kept coming, so I fired again. And that time he hit the ground.
April Evans is a mother, a gun owner, and a proud NRA member. Exactly 6 years ago today, she was sleeping quietly with her dog.
Well, she's a proud NRA member. Let's not hold that against her.
Right. I wish people would quit saying that.
Well,
When an
you can see it.
invader
This is
entered
clearly
her
by
house.
NRA. Well, it's from NRA. They're
April,
not going to
what
put
happened
anything
next?
else on
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Well, we were just, going about our night. My husband is a police officer and he works night shifts. He was gone for work and I heard banging on the door. So I went to see, maybe my neighbor needed help. I wasn't sure. So I looked through the peephole and I didn't recognize him. And that was when I noticed that the door was starting to crack and I knew he was coming in the house. So I had a plan in place and my plan was to call 911 and go get our gun from the bedroom. While I was getting the gun in the bedroom, I heard a crash and I thought, did I lock the door to the kitchen that goes to the garage? Because it sounded like he came into the garage. By the time I got to the middle of the end of the hallway, he was standing there looking at me and then he just started running towards me. So I fired. He still kept coming. So I fired again. And that time he hit the ground and I held him there at gunpoint until the police arrived.
Wow.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
goodness you're okay and that your daughter is okay and that you're a responsible, smart, and prepared and practiced gun owner. Nancy Pelosi, though, she wants to confiscate your guns for the children.
Most important issues facing the Congress are our children, our children, our children. An environment in which they can thrive. Safe.
Barf.
We are talking about
Sports
today.
ball.
There is nobody in Congress whose political survival is more important than the survival of our children.
Sit down and shut
April,
up, Nancy.
your reaction to those impassioned words.
My child
She
wouldn't
could
be
poop in her
alive
hat.
today, I firmly believe, if I had not had my gun to protect us. And she's been around guns her whole life. She knows about gun safety. We taught her from a very early age. She knows about it. We always explained it to her, showed it to her. She's not in any danger. She knows what a gun is. She knows what a gun can do, and she knows to stay away from it. And if she has questions, she finds an adult and asks the questions. It's all about training in order to keep a safe environment.
Right
Taking
on, Mama.
guns away from someone like myself, who my husband works night shift, and it's just me and her alone, how does that keep anybody safe? We both would have been dead.
Well, I
I'm
don't know that I
sure.
would have televised all of that on national TV or whatever, but that's
Well, the more-
situational. That's situational awareness people don't ever think about, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess the moral of the story on that one is Nancy Pelosi's a fucking idiot, and don't fuck with Mama
Yeah.
Bear.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, I'm gonna get y'all have fun.
See you, buddy. Thanks.
Have a good night, Clover.
See ya,
Night,
Clover.
Clover.
Take it easy, bud.
Thanks, man.
This was This was something that G had put up an editorial back in '97. They were talking about the Knox thing and the takeover or whatever, I guess it was, or whatever you want to call it. And it said, by innuendo and deception, Knox and his followers have misrepresented the NRA's financial condition and systematically worked to ruin Executive Vice President Wayne LaPierre. They would have you believe that the NRA is slipping hopelessly into bankruptcy amid what they label a fiscal madhouse. My comment was, wow, this article didn't age well, huh? It's fucking exactly where they are now. Goddamn mess.
Yep.
Prove
remember.
you don't argue with Don Knox.
I don't remember what this is.
Go to church anywhere?
Oh, this, okay.
Huh?
Here, hold on a sec.
But
Go to church anywhere? Huh? No. You don't? Mm-mm. You guys know how to get to heaven? Huh? I don't know you guys at all. I know. I just see you guys. You guys aren't like girlfriends, are you? Okay, alright. Just
But if it was, it's genuinely not.
Yeah, you're right. But I just want to let you guys know, because they don't teach you young kids anything about God anymore, then it's not the right way to live. So.
Well, if you force it on somebody,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
no,
right.
I'm not forcing it. But
As somebody
Yes,
named
you
Jordan, we will happily claim that guy as another Jordan because that kid was fucking smart.
Yeah, he was pretty smart for sure.
Dude, don't be fucking around with me when I'm at Culver's enjoying my freaking cheese curds and butter burgers. Fuck off.
Dude.
Especially preaching to me about no Jesus or nothing like that. I'm here to get fat. Jesus don't want no part of that.
So we'll go straight from that one to these guys here. God says homosexuality is in.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what a cane corso is, but they are monstrous. Monstrous looking dogs, man.
Dang.
God, it looks like a villain out of Thundercats.
It's like
Yeah,
if you
especially
took
with the glowing eyes.
yeah, if you took a pit bull and put them on a steroid and creatine for a couple of months.
That looks like the dog Satan would come here to take over with.
No, you know what it looks like? It looks like Gozer from Ghostbusters.
I was just going to say that.
Gozer.
Yeah. Not that they aren't the nice dogs. I don't fucking know, but
I wouldn't throw hands with that dog.
No way.
No.
Say less.
But it still
Say
needs
less.
belly rubs.
Unexpected guests coming over? Let's get a P365 in there.
My son sent me that yesterday.
Oh, yeah? I forget what this one is.
Dumbest tattoo.
Yeah, I don't know.
forgot.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking of some new tattoo ideas. I think that one takes the cake.
Yeah. Here's another religious one. It's a misprint. Your God is gone. Your God is good is gone. Gotta watch those O's. They ran out of O's, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, look.
Cerebus.
You've watched Wheel of Fortune. You got to buy those vowels.
Did that blue M&M just stick his finger up that orange M&M's butt, or what happened?
Oh no, because that one's honeycomb and that one's crunchy, and I don't see crunchy on his fingers. He might have stuck it up his own.
Could be. I don't know. Could be. Squidward here.
Bye, Squidward. Bye.
Oh, fool, take that. That was funny. He's like, suck it. No, it's a horseshoe. No. Why are you so afraid of the truth?
It's just uncomfortable looking.
Never gonna give you up.
Police got behind. Police got behind me, and my next left was the cemetery. I turned in that cemetery, and he turned in too. I went to somebody named Jerry's grave and broke down crying. I'm sorry, Jerry. I was in a jam. Somebody. Okay, so I tagged Kinky in this, and then Sarge randomly saw it and sent it to me, and I was like, oh no, Kinky then reposted it. But he's like, I'm gonna try my best, but it's a fucking radioactive dinosaur.
They're all like, yeah, right.
He's like,
why
come
are
on,
you
man.
leaking your nudes out to everybody?
2 live moods. This is marriage. I love Southern homes with wraparound porches. If my husband doesn't want a wraparound porch, we'll just have to compromise and have a wraparound porch. It says the end of Finding Dory in Sweden's Netflix is by far the greatest movie moment in cinema history. Slut.
Slut.
Me. Mom, I want 2 toys. Mom, choose one. Me. But I like both. Mom buys both toys. Yes. What the hell is this? Taco Bell. We put the cheese on top of the lettuce on your tacos just so it falls off and gets in your lap and all over your car, you piece of shit.
Nothing
Bell
could be
sounds good about that.
closer to the truth.
That's true.
You're never too big for cuddles with mom.
Either.
I just thought this was cute.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Ow.
Yeah, just grabbed him by the ear. He's like, oh.
Ow. Seriously, Ma, knock the shit off.
I'm 12 years old, Mom. I'm
It's like
15
you're
now,
getting a
Mom.
hug whether you like it or not, you little son
I'll
of
give
a
you a
bitch.
hug,
Give
but
me a
just
hug.
stop biting my damn ear, all right?
Mm-hmm. Crazy how beavers just see running water and just think to themselves, well, someone has to put a stop to this. Day 364 of quarantine. I have successfully learned how to use the enchantment table.
Yes, I'll take 3, please.
Mm-hmm. So you got Mayo Q and Mayo Must. How far do you think Mayo Tard got before someone flagged an issue? Bob, we cannot call it Mayo Tard. Oh, come on.
Life goes on, Corky.
Yep. So I looked this up for my son. I think I'm going to buy it for him. Babe, are you okay? You barely even touched the Nachosaurus. That's on Amazon too. You can get those.
That's gonna be a bitch to keep clean.
Add to cart.
Babe, are you okay? You've barely touched your Darth Maul hummus.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
He keeps looking
Guys.
Sly Stallone, stop sending me this shit.
Stop sending me this shit.
Joey Trent, I did it.
Dude, that is fucking gold.
That's so weird, man. And you know this has probably been passed around. Okay, that's got 17,000 likes. You know he's seen that. He's had to have. Somebody has had to show him. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck this is.
thing that you've said during sex?
Okay, so I kind of hope nobody sees this, but if you do. Basically, my first time giving top, I didn't know what I was doing, and I also didn't tell him it was my first time, so I thought I could just like find my way around and figure it out. He told me to spit on it, and for some reason in my twisted brain, I thought that meant he wanted me to use it as a microphone and start rapping, and I wish.
Oh my God. Snore.
Me drunk at home in my basement. My pistol upper, my rifle lower. Ooh, don't put them together.
No.
Don't put them together.
No.
They'll kick in your door. They'll come and get you. The boys will get you.
Never.
Now, I don't know if y'all have ever seen Calaveras 32 Special, but this kid looks like the little baby Calaveras 32 Special.
Baby pickle.
Yeah, little baby pickle. Hey, the little baby pickle for sure.
In Soviet
Baby
Russia.
Yeah. Oh, here. You know what I didn't do?
You didn't tag him.
I didn't tag him.
Son of a bitch.
Sons of bitches.
Hey, Pickle, remember that night you spent in the Ukraine back in 1990?
He doesn't have a pipe.
Well, I mean, come on. He's doing like gym boxing. It's dangerous to have a pipe in your mouth when people are going to be hitting you.
There we go.
Punch your mama in the
Grandpa.
mouth.
Punch your mama in the mouth. That little baby pickle.
Speaking of the pickle, I got to respond to him.
Never gonna give you up.
That's
what the fuck? Hello, lady.
Look, I left my support shorts at home. All right.
It's all good till you dump boiling. It's all fun until you dump boiling water all over your back.
You throw it away from yourself, kiddo.
It obviously wasn't cold enough outside, too.
Or the water wasn't hot enough.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Loading.
Yeah,
load high.
Buffering.
The hell are we on fucking dial-up again?
Man, that one loaded up. It might be that. Oh, there we go.
I specifically speak for 700,000 plus Americans in my district. When I say that if you think this bastardization of the Constitution will be met with silence, then you know nothing of the America I know. You want my guns. I know it. We all know it. Well, Mr. Speaker, you could come and take them. I speak for millions of Americans.
That was the shorter version. This is
when we say come and take it, we damn well mean it. If we lose the Second Amendment, then the first will fall. I want to remind my colleagues of a simple fact that is far too often swept under the rug by the left. Americans have a right to obtain a firearm for lawful purposes. I'll say it again louder for those on the left sleeping in the back. Americans have a right to obtain firearms. This is my right. And Mr. Speaker, this is your right. But let me be clear to everyone in this chamber. You will not take this right away from us. I know it's easy to be sucked into the DC bubble, but outside of here, in real America, when we say come and take it, we damn well mean it. This bill would unconstitutionally place the burden of proof for firearm purchases and transfers on American citizens instead of placing the burden firmly where it belongs, on the shoulders of the government. But let us be clear. The left is not here today to debate this bill, nor are they here to legislate in the best interest of the American people. They are here to shove it down our throats. My colleagues and I on the right have been called here to defend one of our most sacred rights. Because you, Mr. Speaker, think that the Constitution is just another piece of paper to tear down the middle of and toss aside. I speak for millions of Americans. I specifically speak for 700,000 plus Americans in my district. When I say that if you think this bastardization of the Constitution will be met with silence, then you know nothing of the America I know. You want my guns. I know it. We all know it. Well, Mr. Speaker, you can come and take them. With that, I yield back. When we say come and take it.
Yeah.
Hoorah.
Yeah, that was some. She spit some shit there, man. Citizens don't pay taxes. Firefighters, I'm putting the kids back in. Get back in there. That's it. Get back in there. Get in there, Johnny.
All right. That's all right.
Back you go. Hey, your mom didn't pay her bills. Back you go. Imagine running for your life, and this is the fastest you can go. Poor little guy. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get away.
Go.
I bet you if you
I'm pretty sure
if you hung a chocolate bar out front, he'd move faster.
Go like
chocolate.
Fast like bunny. Fast like bunny. Go.
Yep.
Alligator's like, yeah, fuck it.
I like this. Cross-threading is just free Loctite. Changed my mind.
Jesus.
No, bad no.
It's just a little crooked.
Funny how the British conquered so much land looking for spices, then refused to use them. Where's Rick? Where's Rick at? I'll tag Rick in that. Yeah, we'll tag Rick in that.
Hell, Rick thinks an open-faced grilled cheese is a rabbit. So I mean, come on.
Yeah. Rick Mitchell. There we go.
Ricker Mitchell. Oh shit.
Rick Mitchell loves mac and cheese. He gets all bent out of shape when you talk about mac and cheese. He fucking hates. He's like, mac and cheese, fuck you.
Just bring up about how Welsh Rabbit is an open-faced grilled cheese. He'll go off on that one too.
Well, did you ever see where Rob D fills in for him? He's always got the mac and cheese in the background.
Yeah. It's a great place to work, but there's a really high turnover. Yeah, high turnover.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a good pun.
I like it. I'll allow it.
What motivates you? Server, money. The chef, my passion for my craft. Host, I want to be a better person. Line cook, drugs.
That is so true.
Las drogas.
Yeah,
except all four of those are drugs.
Chef coming back with that item you 86th. I found it, sons of motherfuckers. Got to open your eyes. Look with your eyes, not your hands.
Have you been talking to my last girlfriend?
I masturbate loud as hell. And if you don't like that, then go to a different Olive Garden. Awkward family photos. My bathroom as a teenager, circa 2000, painted by a friend of my mom's. Look where she put.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to get out of this bathroom? You got to pull him a dick. Sorry.
You got to pull my knob.
You got to pull my knob. Yep. Here's all the doctors I trust. Here's all the doctors I trust more than Fauci.
I was going to say, that's an old style Dr. Thunder can.
Yeah. What's funny is there is no Dr. Pepper in there, which is weird. Obviously, they stole that meme.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw two blind people fighting. I yelled, he got a knife. And they both started running. I'm a good person. You just break that
fight
fight
out every way I can.
Yeah, you're just breaking that up. This dude's like, oh, he don't give a shit.
Running with a cigarette.
Yep.
He's like,
just puffing away. Just puffing away. I just got Calaveras just Instagram message back with a little smiley face. He must have saw the thing I tagged him in.
If you got a problem,
I like this. It says Australians are just British Texans.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so briefly?
I don't remember what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, this is woman came down to the police station to domestic violence charge. Her husband had a gun. He walked back into the house. This is crazy. Let's skip forward a little bit till they're in the house.
And all type of stuff. And
I saw this one.
no. No.
But his access to his firearm the firearm is definitely not in this home.
She says, it's upstairs, so I don't know if it's in here. I don't know if it's upstairs. I don't know where it's at.
Do you have access to the safe?
No.
No.
I don't think it's upstairs.
But you haven't seen the firearm in this house since he's been back?
No.
Since he got it back?
Yeah, that's wrong. The one cop was shot in the leg.
Mm-hmm.
And one in the arm.
Yeah, they were both shot.
Everything.
Well, do you want to pack up and go to your sister's now while we're still here?
The kids is in the middle of school.
Yeah, hurry up, get the fuck out. Because he's coming in the front door in a minute.
Yeah.
If you can get a locksmith here within, as soon as possible.
I brought you some Chick-fil-A.
And it's the cops did a good job, man, because they offered her some really good help. They said, do you want to leave? And they even told her, like, okay, we'll stay here until you get things straightened out. If you they're talking about calling a locksmith and stuff. So they were like, the cops were like, yeah, if you can call them right now. And they were good dudes.
Here it
and it fucking comes back.
Oh, he's coming. That's him. Let's see.
Just nuts, man.
He forgot to put his Air Pro on.
Yeah. Those Mormons don't take no for an answer.
And he used the barstool defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to trip him.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I could never do that job.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Bye, doggy.
That's one way to get rid of him.
Wee. His ears caught wind and he just took flight.
Freedom!
Maxwell. Sorry, Mrs. A.
Wee.
Dumbo.
Ah, poor doggy.
Oh. What you get for not
Maybe
wearing
he
your
wanted to
seatbelt?
fly.
Don't tell me you like 80s rock music if you don't know who this hair band is.
Us boys.
I commented, because it's got Bill S. Preston in there. I said that's Wild Stallions after the Ted Theodore Logan left. It's just Bill S. Preston in there. When I was a young chef, every kitchen radio looked like this or had a fork improvised as an aerial instead of the foil. 100% true. 100% true.
All of the TVs in my house when I was a kid.
Yeah, we had foil and a fork. Yep, I'm 100% true.
On a stick.
Well, no, the coat hanger and the foil.
Well, we had a fork because we were in a restaurant. We didn't have no coat hangers laying around.
Well, la-di-da. Fancy pants.
Yeah, we had a fork and some aluminum foil. Washington County, Pennsylvania.
Was it a salad fork?
Or was it a dribble
fork?
Was it a dribble spoon?
Yeah, fancy ass, shitty ass drizzle spoon. Yeah.
All right, sorry.
That's why the drizzle spoon's all put together like that.
It got melted by the RF frequency.
Yeah. So there's Pennsylvania Sanctuary City. That's cool.
Yeah, I know where that is. I may have been in Washington County a few times in my life.
How do you think this is going to work out?
Not good.
I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be awesome.
Ugh.
Oh, right on the kidneys.
Yeah.
Well, his boyfriend's not going to be bending him over anytime soon.
Oh yeah, he is. He's going to be bending them back the other way. Gotta get it all straightened out.
Man, shit looked like it hurt. Did that hurt?
This
It'll
might
hurt when he sobers up.
This might hurt too. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, he's using his Hayuken. Huh, cool. Wham.
He's okay. He's upright. His foot's
Barely.
stuck.
I don't know if he's going to stay that way though.
It's like when your kid falls down, he bounces up. I'm okay.
Yeah, it didn't hurt at all.
I meant to do that.
Government's extending the lockdown 2 weeks at a time is the equivalent to line cooks telling a server their table's food will be ready in 2 minutes. Lies.
Why would you do that?
Fucking lies.
Lies.
This is another one that's pretty true. Being a waitress was my worst job to this day. One bitch complained about a milkshake that wasn't made correctly. So I transferred the same milkshake into a different cup with a new straw, and she said it was much better.
Nice. After she spit in it.
Yeah. At my funeral, take the bouquet off my casket and throw it to the crowd to see who was next.
Every time I see that one's still good.
Every single time.
Derrida. What the is this? Watch your profanity. Right, I'm sorry. Derrida. What the is this? Watch your profanity. Right.
What's your profanity? What's your profanity? If a girl changes in front of you, she's either really interested or you're level 99 friend zoned, or she hasn't seen you in the tree yet. Bitches. I don't know, man. I don't know who takes their socks and shoes off. But
Jesus Christ.
I like this comment says, socks off. My man is fighting demons.
You know you're settling in for the duration.
Yeah. If you don't remember her name in the morning, just take her to Starbucks.
Oh, I saw that.
Nice.
Oh. Awkward family photos. Mom missed her sister so much when she moved out, she simply made another one. Now she can never leave. It's like a paper mache sister. Ugh. Could you imagine walking into somebody's house and not knowing that's there? You'd fucking put a bullet hole in it.
Well, I put that right in the guest bathroom right on the toilet.
Taking a dump. Yeah.
Set it right over the sink.
You gonna be there a while?
I like
Amazon. The Amazon choice here is the Amazon Basics product. Amazon's just blowing itself. You know what the best product is? The one we made. Yeah.
Most cursed thing ever.
Gordon Ramsay, want to be on Kitchen Nightmares? The owner, sure. This kitchen is a nightmare. What? What?
Get the fuck out.
You fucking cunt. How do you not make chicken right?
I like this guy. When society wants you to be a janitor, but samurai is your dream job.
Dude, you're just making a bigger mess. Knock it off.
He's kicking ass and taking names, man.
It's Lightsaber Kid all over again.
Dude's no joke, though. Like, he seriously knows what he's doing, for sure.
The demons were coming. He had to practice.
Yeah.
The demons.
I got to the office earlier today and switched the M and the N keys on every keyboard I could. Some in my office will say that I'm a monster, but others will say that I'm a nomster.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's funny. I like the nomster part. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Dude, check this fucking picture out. San Francisco after the 1906 earthquake. Look at that fucking shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Between the earthquake and the fires that started, San Francisco was a mess after that.
Yeah.
It looks all right.
Looks about the same as it
You
does
guys
today.
Yeah, I was
probably
gonna
heard
say
about this one. You know, Twitter reacts to Burger King tweet, "Women belong in the kitchen on International Women's Day." You know, they belong in the kitchen if they want to, of course, yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. So they meant all good intentions. They made a joke, and, you know, you can't make jokes anymore. Jokes are bad, okay? You make a bad joke, you don't get canceled, okay?
Okay.
it's like the millennials trying to cancel fucking Eminem this last week. Good luck with
Yeah.
that shit.
Eminem the candy or Eminem the white dude?
Eminem the white dude.
Yeah, nobody cares about him.
The moment you've been waiting for. White chicks. Kids exchange. What? Kids exchange? I'm confused.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. I just found out this is how they X-ray babies. There's a little baby 2 Live Moo over there on the right in his yellow shirt. Back in the day.
We had something similar to that. We had a blanket that you would put the suction pump on, and it would harden like concrete around them.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight, don't be lying. This is your little setup. You just took the blender out from underneath it.
Yeah, you know.
Did anybody else say that he had a pump that he put around it and a suction pump and it made it hard?
Yeah,
Look, Moo happened to get some bad financial advice and ended up buying a controlling share in a Swedish penis pump company. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mine, honestly.
This was pretty good.
It's Moo's pump.
That shit looked like a real dog, man.
No
They
kidding.
did a good job. They did a good job.
I believe you, Moo Powers.
How many
Send that
PETA
to your
members
kid.
had a fit when they saw that video?
I like your mustache. Oh gosh, it's like, oh wait.
That's just funny. Man, I know Hugh Jackman's not going to be Wolverine anymore, but he really let himself go.
Oof.
It's like the crossover between the Blob and Wolverine.
The Blobberine.
Yeah. There we go.
So my
Find the
little sister got a
Grogu.
tattoo.
Oh, I saw this.
Stay humble, hustle hard. Right. This should say stay hooky blay. Who's so hard? Y'all got a hustle for that money.
That is why you don't go to a street shop and you don't get lettering, especially because most tattoo artists literally make you sign saying, "This is how you gave it to me to spell. That's how it's going on your body."
No regrets, not even one letter.
Yeah. My education is more important than what I wear. Education. I don't know what this is.
You have to
Education.
know when to come. So Chris does a great job. Giannis comes from behind and gets a piece of it. Like, it's not just when you come, like it's how hard you come. Or you come in when the ball is dead, or you come in when he gets into his shooting motion.
Phrasing
You have to
is
know
everything.
Yeah, for real.
Wah wah.
To prevent spreading germs in the workplace, can anyone think of good alternative to shaking hands? Me. And those are from last week. Did I miss any? I don't know. Maybe that's it for this week.
Ooh, brownie bars.
Cake.
Yeah, I got a couple of food ones stuck in here for
beers.
Yeah, just a couple of things I saw that was kind of neat. The fastest growing career in field in America is victimhood.
Yep.
It's not wrong.
Seven Wonder says, "Who gives a rat's ass about Eminem? Who gives a DM Foss's ass? Rat.
I know that's a pretty big ass.
Rat bastard.
Rat. That bat rastard.
Bat
Oh, there's a little pickle. Where's little baby pickle. Look at him. Look at him go. Little pickle
Is he wearing a
ninja.
fez?
Good thing he's got his ID on.
Looks like something from the Little Rascals.
It does look like Spanky.
Like, just kind of just looking at the camera. Like, you sure I can do this?
He's
Come
like,
on.
oh boy.
Give me that borscht.
$2. Where's my $2?
Put that kid in the octagon.
He's like, I'm Spider-Man, and he's like punching.
Little fucking pickle ninja. We're gonna tag him in it again.
Never mind my little gay hat.
Little fucking pickle ninja.
Man, those Shriners really know how to train kids at an early age.
Yeah. Kick ass and take names, man, for sure.
The Shriner hat. It's all about the kids, man.
About the churn. It's all about the churn.
Now I want pizza.
Everybody wants pizza.
Oh yeah, because of the pizza thing.
Pizza machine.
I didn't listen.
You're
to
live
this.
after the national anthem, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going north. It's not? They're green and white. Oh, shit. They're kneeling? I hope Norman gets her ass. Are you sure? That's Midwest City kneeling. Isn't it?
Just talking shit about them because they're kneeling. That was annoyingly loud.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I put out a good one this week. Did y'all see my?
Take my strong hand.
I had this one.
Take
This
my
one from
hammer.
last week. You know, that was pretty good. And then I don't know if y'all saw this one.
Yep.
And then do you see what Sarge commented? I love my air fryer. Said, I'll alert the media.
I always love that when
And
he's mixing the mashed potatoes with his little baby hand.
Yeah, that's my good hand, child.
That's my strong hand. Take my hand.
And then
Take my strongest hand.
on Gizzards on Foul Territory this morning, they started talking about that somebody mentioned strong hand versus and weak hand, practicing with your weak hand. And this is 100% true because whenever I hear anybody say weak hand and strong hand, this fucking shit pops into my head. Like,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'm not, what and as a, what do you think about when someone is talking about firearms training with weak hand versus strong hand? Me, take my strong hand, grab it. I know it's gross.
That's fucking funny. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty good.
Hey, those pens work pretty good as gun holders, don't they?
Oh, it's a Sharpie. Yeah. I think I have a Sharpie. Is it a Sharpie? Oh, no, that's a G2.
Yeah, it's a pen.
Those are the best pens, man. G2s are the shit.
No, Zebra.
Now, get out of here with
Yeah,
that Zebra
12 gauge
nonsense.
shells.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Fish or space pens, you plebs.
Only if you want to write upside down.
Or on a vertical surface.
Zebra.
Yes, Moo, we are all very proud that you were able to work up to getting a Z cup. Now be quiet.
Wait.
Think about it.
Oh, it is zebra.
Pizza. Food of the gods.
Crazy eyes.
What was his pizza? Was it Oreos and?
It was gummy worms, Oreos, and gummy worms. I think.
Oh, rabbit. Mom's demand action.
Mm-hmm. On International Women's Day.
Turkey wings.
Turkey wings.
Ain't no thing.
Chicken wing, hot dogs and bologna, chicken and macaroni, hanging with my homies.
God damn it, I didn't see my girlfriend today, and I was hoping I wouldn't have to hear that song, but you fuckers just doing that shit.
We aims to please.
Little monkey butt. Put some pants on, bro.
So how'd Mia react after she found out that you used her mask to make a diaper for Kong?
It's actually my son's. It's actually a little one of my sons. So he didn't like it. Actually, he was like, "No, take that off. That's weird." I was like,
"No, it tastes like monkey nut."
All right.
Did you get my email? Midnight.
That's funny, man.
Did I get your email? And I can look for it.
Where I got hacked by this chick, and a bunch of my friends have too. It hit my bank account. I said 13 times. It was 14 times for $106.
Wow.
Damn.
And I got a fraud alert text, and I called them, and they shut down my account, and I couldn't even log into my bank account. What was it? $1,350 they tried to hack me for? Fucking hackers.
Well, only that's white people problems, man, because you said 13 charges for $106 each. They would only be able to do it like twice to me. So I don't have those kind of problems.
They wouldn't get anywhere near that kind of money out of me.
Yeah, I had that happen. I had to get a whole new bank account last year. Not just a debit card or anything. I actually had to close my goddamn account down because I was having so much trouble.
Well,
that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because all your automatic payments and all your memberships and everything's linked to it.
Yeah.
Everything now. Every time I pay bills, I got to make sure that it picks the right account when I pay a bill. Because every once in a while, like when I first did it, every once in a while you'd get the wrong account, and I wouldn't know it. You know, it would just go as like a non-payment to like a credit card. I was paying a credit card or something like that. And the next month I was like, dude, I paid that last month. Why the hell? You know, which pisses me off that like you don't get an alert. You know, I didn't get an alert that it didn't go through or whatever, but
yeah, I had that happen with my electric company. I had them taking it out of one checking account that I had to close down and go to it, switch it over. And I had switched it over, and it was supposed to just automatically take the payment out of my checking account. About 6 months later, I got a notification, hey, we're going to turn your power off. You haven't been paying us. What do you mean I haven't been paying you? So I had to go figure that out. But, yeah, that always sucks when you have to do that.
Yep.
Yeah,
blows. Yeah, no, that happened in my account. I got hacked, too. You know, I got a lot of, like, charges, like, to, like, porn phone calls and stuff. And then I figured out, oh, shit, that was actually me.
I was gonna say, how could you tell?
I said, hey, that was, oh yeah, I'm sorry, that was me. Sorry, whoops.
Yeah, I years ago I had one that I even saw and didn't realize right away that it wasn't me because it was for Bass Pro Shops. There was a charge on my card for Bass Pro Shops from like 2 days before, and I was like, did I fucking stop at Bass Pro Shops and not remember? You know what I mean? I was like, no, I didn't stop at Bass Pro Shops, did I? And by the time I called my bank or whatever, they had done expedited shipping. That shit was already on its way. It was, I don't remember I don't know even know how much it was. It was like $100 and some bucks, I think. But, it was in the United States and it was shipped to an address and everything like that. And it's like, they don't even go after people. It pisses you off because it's like, well, what's to stop somebody from doing it again and again and again? It's like, there's nothing, because the companies just write this off as a loss, or insurance covers it or whatever it is. I don't know if it's considered theft.
But you're the one that gets screwed.
I got to go through the bullshit. Right. But also it's like, I'm, quote unquote, I'm the victim here. And I want somebody to do something about it. And the company's just like, no, they don't bother. We just refund them the money, and we refund you the money. And, it's just how it is. We just write it off. And I'm like, so you don't even fucking try. That's so depressing.
It's a federal crime, but they don't want to be bothered to have to go through all the court proceedings and everything.
For sure.
Hey,
I understand it. Go ahead.
Yeah, like a couple of years ago, Matt had said that he got his Walmart account hacked, and somebody had charged a laptop or something, and he said they switched his address to Arizona, and I was like, G-Webs hacked your account, dude.
Yeah,
I was like, it was G-Webs, He had to deal with that too, man. It was a lot of BS, man.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. And you don't realize how much stuff is attached to it until you have to change your account. You know what I mean? You don't really think about it. And then all of a sudden you're like, for months, for like 2 or 3 months, I kept finding it. I was like, oh yeah, I never changed this over. I never changed that over. I never, it's annoying as hell.
Well, yeah, especially if you've got like streaming services and all that type of stuff. It's just that little stupid shit that comes out of your account that's such a minuscule amount. You don't even notice a lot of the time.
Yeah. And then, exactly. Like you said, all of a sudden you're like, I'm 3 months behind. What the hell's going on? Like, why am I, oh shit, and it clicks. I'm like, shit. And I was explaining to people all over the place. Like, I had to get a new bank account. I had to get, I got hacked and I had to get rid of it. Foss is saying, when I reported to the cops when it happened to me, they said nothing would happen. No, nothing does. And they all just kind of shrug and they're just like, nah, it is what it is. Like, we just chalk it up as a loss. And I'm like, dude, people are so crazy with, like, it happens everybody. I don't know one person that hasn't had it happen. And I understand that it would probably cost a company more than it was worth
for that one time, but
so I get it why they would probably want to leave it alone, just because they're like, shit, it'll cost us less not to do. It's like paying off somebody when you all these Me Too things or whatever you want to call, whatever it is. Just pay them a couple $1 million and have them go away, and it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot better, and it's for your look and your bank account. But
I do that all the time. Pay them off.
I just want people that steal shit from you to fucking pay for it. Shit.
Yeah, well, the other thing is if there's no repercussions for that person's actions, they're not going to stop doing it.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, is a lot of people that do that type of shit have figured out, hey, I can just constantly get away with it. That nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then there'll be a different person the next day. So I understand it. You can't chase a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's all small stuff too. One person. I mean, who knows how many people that person got you for that amount of money. They probably did that all day long to other people too. Like, who knows, man? You could get a shitload of money like that.
I'm just trying to think what the fuck you'd get for $100 at Bass Pro Shop. You walk in there and somehow I end up walking out with $1,000 spent in that store, and I don't know what I bought.
Really,
actually, it was a couple coasters.
Yeah, I was gonna say nowadays you could have brought like 2 boxes of 762 or something like that.
A couple
coolers. Got some beef jerky.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing for me is like, I have to pay attention to that because obviously with my sponsorships for fishing and stuff, I submit those receipts and I get reimbursed for a lot of it. But there will be times where I walk in there, I'm like, how the hell did I spend that much money?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't take long, man. I mean, when I got back into fishing and stuff, and I started buying stuff again, I was like, God damn, man! It's like you could, if you just go, I'm just going to go buy a couple of lures, and you can end up walking out of there spending $40 or something. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, yeah, you buy a
if you
pack
skip
here.
lunch, lunch and you walk by the candy section, the food that you probably spend all that money on that.
Yeah.
Where else you go in and you buy Yamamoto Senkos? I mean, Christ, those you used to be able to get the pack for $4 or $5. Now they're like 10.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, everything goes up. I understand. There's also a lot of pressure put on buying expensive shit too.
Yeah, like
buying top brand stuff, and rather than
Like, I got to go tour the St. Croix factory because it's only about 5 hours from where I live. I've toured that a few times. We used to have property about an hour away from it. That's really cool, and I use all St. Croix stuff, but I have a hard time justifying the cost on some of that stuff. It's damn expensive.
Yeah.
$300 for a damn fishing rod. Let's do it with goddamn bamboo sticks.
Yeah.
Right. Make your own fishing rod.
Well, missed the table. 2 o'clock. I say we call it a night. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, we went an hour ahead today. The show must go on.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. Do you know where your children are at?
It's only 1.
1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Not
It's
existing.
only 1 a.m.
That you know of, Snowy.
Oh,
Now, so someone posted these on Matt's food channel
Nutella?
here.
It's supposed to be like Nutella flavored?
Yeah, kind of a knockoff Nutella thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're okay, but like the spread itself, or the, I don't know, cream or whatever you want to call it, that's in the center of Oreos, has a good flavor to it. It's just that you need like half again as much of that filling in order for you to actually be able to taste it over the cookie.
Mm-hmm. Oreo does it. Man, it's amazing. Some like the special or the featured flavors, the specialty ones, the seasonal, whatever they put out.
I still always like
really good stuff.
The mint ones that they come out with.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they're really good.
And apparently, according to somebody else on these chats years ago, there is a thriving black market for discontinued or no longer available special runs of Oreo flavors.
Well, that and ones that you can get in other countries that you can't get here.
I believe it, especially the way they do that with like some of your sodas that do those specialty flavors like Mountain Dew and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really only 1 a.m.
I don't give a shit. I'm tired.
I'm tired. I'm ape.
I hate those people.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I know Japan.
Didn't even want to do
especially-
anything.
Japan
likes to make
especially
a lot of
is.
weird stuff.
They do a lot of odd stuff. There's a lot of and they're just into trends too. The trending is huge.
Are you talking New Japan, Rich?
We're talking like Japan after it was rebuilt.
So that would be New Japan.
Well, like,
Japan.
I'm planning on taking a trip to Japan, but I'm holding off until after the Olympics because a lot of the stuff I'd want to do over there, unless I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt all the time, they won't welcome me into a lot of those places still because I'm tattooed. And
They think you're part of the Yakuza.
yeah, that's the weird thing is I could be this white dude, like how I look, and they'd still think I'm part of the Yakuza over there. Hey, that's part of the Asian culture. I get that, but it's one of those where I'm hoping after the Olympics, and that's what a lot of people are hoping, is that it starts to open that up a little bit more.
And yet, if you were
Yeah.
able to talk flawless Japanese to them, they'd turn to your friend or your guide and talk to them instead.
Yep.
But, it's funny you say that, man, because like a friend of mine, his dad was in the Marines, and he became like an instructor, and he would go all over the place. You know, he would go to like the Middle East, you know, and does that. He went to Japan one time. Well, one time he was wearing like a sleeveless shirt, kind of like a, I don't know, I won't say wife beater shirt, but it was something that didn't have sleeves, and he had tattoos. He told me that he swore that his dad walked on the sidewalk and people just got out of his way and just like, you know, like they paid respect to him or something, you know, they didn't mess with him. And his dad was just like, oh crap, you know, after they think that I'm a Yakuza or something because of my tattoos and stuff. But people just got out of his way, man. I mean, he didn't have to worry about anybody getting in his way when he was walking the sidewalks, man.
Well, yeah, and
showing off his tattoos.
The criminal association, the reason they associate like a white guy like me with the Yakuza is because they think that I'm from some other gang, the Irish Mafia or the Italian Mafia or whatever. So they automatically assume that I'm there, and I've been invited by the Yakuza, which is why I'm there to conduct business with them. So that's why they still do that nowadays. But I'm hoping that stereotype changes, because I don't want to walk over there and get looked like I'm some type of asshole. I'm actually there to enjoy the culture and see a lot of the historical stuff while I'm over there. It's not that I'm over there to be an asshole or anything.
I mean, it is Japan, so I wouldn't hold my breath for too long.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, and as far as Japan and weird stuff, I mean, they did let Seven Wonders over there several times.
That's true.
7 Wonders.
You should be good to go.
Yeah, they let Seven Wonders marry one of them. I mean, that's even worse.
Yeah, not even the one that had like the millionaire family member though.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what they thought of his wife, that they just like, here, take her, get out of here,
get rid of her, get her out of here.
She was a criminal. They want to get rid of criminals.
Seven Wonders. This is an American tank. If you want to speak Japanese, you go find yourself a Japanese tank.
Yeah, man.
Just knock it off with this Romagen stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
Babblefish.
All right. So, what do you guys got going on? Rich, what do you got going on? Let's do some plugs here.
What do we got going on? See, we got a wrestling show Saturdays, and then before you go live on Sundays, we got some kind of show on. Both of those are on the Unlimited Media channel, so check those out. And the Saturday show's at 9 p.m. Eastern, by the way. But I should probably throw the time out.
Oh, you know what? Too, I saw Outlaw out there earlier, but we were talking about something at the time. How's he doing?
I don't know. I haven't got to talk to him lately.
I'll have to text him. I'll text him here tonight. Well, it's pretty late now, but I shouldn't text him now. But I'll text him tomorrow. I'll let you guys know if he gets back to me. He had some surgery, so I'll check in on him, see how he's doing.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him personally, but I had wished him a happy birthday about a week or so ago, and he mentioned about his surgery and stuff, but he did mention that he just became diabetic. He was diagnosed being diabetic now.
Oh, fuck, man. When it rains, it pours for this guy.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
And I wished him, happy birthday, and that hopefully he recovers. He feels better and stuff like that. You know, and
well,
he'll come back.
depending on how he is, if he can maintain it with diet, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it might actually be in the good. I mean, if you can maintain it with diet, you control it, and you start eating healthier and stuff, you can do pretty well with it.
Yeah.
George, what's up with you? Anything going on?
Not much, man. Just busy week this week. It's Texas week and spring break, so a lot of work going on out there. And other than that, not much. Just hanging out. Happy to be here, and thank you for the invite.
Very cool. Moo, anything going on?
Watch for my random go live shows.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Yeah, go live shows, man.
Well, George was there. Mad Sexy was there. Ozark Yeoman was there.
Ozark Yeoman was there. Yeah, and Mood did a good job, man, for first time around, man. That was awesome.
Had to go
Oh, wait a
private
minute.
because I showed some medical information online.
Even your daughter showed up, man.
Oh yeah, my daughter was there. She was chiming in on the side chat.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, it was.
That was funny. He's like his daughter saying, you're live on YouTube?" He goes, "Yep."
Yeah, I was texting Midnight. I'm like, "Hey, I got a question," because I'm like, "How the hell you use a StreamYard shit?"
You did you text me? I don't even remember you.
Yeah, and then I said, "Never mind, figured it out." You know, that kind of stuff. It was late. I don't know what time. What time was it, George?
It was right after roll call.
1
right
o'clock
after
in the
roll call
morning.
got out of right after roll call got out of ended his show on Wednesday, and it was probably probably another 30 minutes to an hour he got on. So it must have been like after 11.
12. You texted
11.
me. I got it right here. You texted me at 12:51. You said, "Are you awake? I have a question." And I didn't even hear my phone. And what's funny though is, and this is the goofiest thing here. At 12:51, you said, "Are you awake? I have a question." And then you texted me back at 2 hours later. It said, "Never mind, I figured it out."
He probably rolled over, saw that text. Fuck that cow.
Fuck that fucker.
But what's funny is if in 2 hours I didn't give a shit at 12:51, why would I have given a shit at 2:45?
I don't know. You might have been unconscious one time and waking
I
up.
didn't want you to feel obligated, if you had to get up and pee or something. Texted that.
That does happen every once in a while. Usually it's around 5:30 in the morning though, which sucks because it's like, well, it's later than that. It'll be like like 7 o'clock or something. Just late, just early enough to be a pain in the ass, and late enough that I can't get back to sleep afterwards. It sucks.
Yeah,
if you're experiencing a pain in the ass while going to the bathroom early in the morning, you might want to consult a medical professional.
Yeah, I have. Don't worry.
Actually, call more women.
And they said that's just how it is now. You're fucking old. You're almost dead. So there you go.
Mostly.
Hell of a doctor. Mostly. I'm only mostly dead. That's right.
About 98%.
Yeah, Snowy doesn't even know that. I was mostly dead for a while.
Jesus.
Then he remembered how to breathe.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So, Snowy, what's going on with you, man?
Not a whole lot. I have 3 guns that I actually need to get reviews out for this week: a SIG P320X carry,
Nice.
compact, a FN 50 or a Ruger 57 and 5.7, and I have to get the P365 out. So make sure to stay tuned for those, and stop by the live streams at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time every Sunday. Other than that,
Yeah, man.
thanks for having me.
I'm looking forward to you doing to seeing how you like the 57, the Ruger.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I want to put a few more 100 rounds through it. Hopefully I can do that within the next week or two and see how she does. But after that, she should be ready to go.
Yeah, they're nice, man. I really liked playing with them when I saw them at the show. I went back and forth between their booth, Ruger, and the FN booth like twice. I went from one to the other, back and then back again, just playing with those guns to see which one I liked best. If it's reliable, I mean, if it turns out to be a reliable product, man, the Ruger is hands down my would be my pick.
The only thing I've noticed with it so far is like my girlfriend, she doesn't have as strong of a grip on a pistol. She's also a newer shooter, but she doesn't have as strong of a grip on it. So if you limp wrist it will malfunction. But other than that,
really?
It's been flawless.
Well, it's not a real big projectile. I wonder if that has anything to do with it,
There's definitely a possibility. Plus, we were shooting the FN, or not the FN, the federal ammo out of it. It wasn't any of the actual FN ammo. So that may be part of the cause for it as well.
Yeah. And it's a pure blowback.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I just know I was really pleasantly surprised with it, man. When I picked it up, I was like, boy, and I've said this before, the only thing I didn't like better about the Ruger over the FN was the shape of the grip. Everything else, I like the Ruger better. The shape of the grip, the Ruger had more of a square, boxy kind of grip. The FN had more of a rounded grip, which I liked, but everything else I liked about the Ruger. I mean, even the texturing on the grip, the fucking FN's like a cheese grater, man. That thing is
Points.
Sharp as hell. Yeah, man, it's crazy. The FN, the Ruger has a really nice pattern to it. Yeah, I don't know. I would never in a million years have thought that I would ever be interested in buying a 5.7 by 28, but after playing with the Ruger, I would definitely, if I had the money laying around, if I wanted to pick up something different, that would be one that I would look at for sure. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and my thought process is I do a lot of hiking in the woods, so especially with the deep hiking fishing that I do, so that's going to actually be my woods guns because we have been having issues with coyotes in one of the towns over. About a week ago, 2 coyotes came out and attacked a guy while he was hiking. So that's going to be dealing with that. Yeah.
Wow.
Coyotes are assholes.
They can be.
True.
They charge you a lot to cross the border.
Thank God,
Ford
George is here.
Rangers.
That's right. I'm here. Don't have to worry about paying them.
Is that me in my T-shirt?
Yeah, thank God that cop is there just in case Andre gets out of hand.
Holy
yeah, Andre ain't the one you have to worry about. It would have been Haku that you would have had to worry about getting out of hand. Good Lord.
Fucking chew your face
I haven't
off.
seen the new what's the name? The Rock TV show, Dwayne Johnson's show.
I've heard a lot about it. I've heard that it's good, it's entertaining, but
It's kind of funny.
I've heard some of the inaccuracies. You know what I mean? Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's like running for president or something, and they're like interviewing him, and he'll talk about like his childhood, like when he was a little kid or when he was in high school. The thing is that when they show about his father, and his father was a wrestler, and they'll show reenactments of like other wrestlers that he wrestled or maybe he was with. So they had actors portraying Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, one of the Freebirds and stuff like that. It was kind of cool seeing that. If you're a fan of wrestling, just seeing that, it would be kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Ape, you want to take us out, buddy?
I suppose somebody has to roll you all out to the dumpster. Ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back roughly the same time, maybe plus or minus an hour or two. Close enough for government work. The Gun Channel's community Monday night programming at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's hasty headlines with never enough ammo, news, and commentary. Once again, also subject to change, internet conditions, and whether or not he has to fire or hire new people. Polite Society Podcast on Facebook is at 7 p.m. Eastern. Same with Yankee Daily Attention Chats or whatever. At 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Clovertack. Sometimes Hawaii Volcano Squad is kind of flighty at this point in time. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek. Once again, I would like to stress to people, Mondays are geek nights, Wednesdays are gun nights. Don't come in here bitching about the fact that we're not talking about serious stuff. Outlaw is still out. Check out GunTube.org as free and unrestricted Pro2A video platform. If you like what you see, go over to Patreon and give them monies or something. I don't know. For cool and unique 2A swag, like pretty much any patch you see around here, except for that Kool-Aid patch. That's mine. You can't have it. Fuck off. Go over to GearWebsites.com. That's GearWebsites.com for cool and unique 2A swag. And remember, hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy. Keep your fudge oiled and your chambers Uranus. That's right.
So thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And we will see you next week. Take it easy.
Happy and free.